Welcome in, high school football fans, and we have opening weekend of Ohio High School football live here inside of Bluestreak Stadium. TJ Downing joined by my partner Drew Sarakman and Mark Milano down on the sidelines, and boy, do we have a good one here for you tonight as the Lake Bluestreaks coming off a heck of a run they made last year with Federal League Player of the Year, Will Butler. He's gone now, graduated playing for the Walsh Cavaliers, but they made that run all the way up there to Parma-Byers Field where they would take on the Massillon Tigers. Didn't go their way, but they are back for more in 2023, and they are taking on the same opponent that they saw over at Mount Union Stadium opening last year, 2022, the Alliance Aviators, led by Brennan Zerbrug. And Drew, I'll tell you what, a lot to love about this guy. I know you mentioned last night as we were over there at Lowell Kleinfelder Field that you feel that Brennan Zerbrug might be the best player in Stark County. Originally had started his commitment to Syracuse, switched there, went to Northwest, some issues over there, and he decided that best for him to eliminate that situation. Now it's the Oklahoma Sooners. That's a power deal. And we're talking about Power Fives. That's a power deal. You don't see a whole lot of guys that have come out of Stark County that have committed to a school like Oklahoma, and they've kind of been on that fast track lately. So Brennan Zerbrug, as we know, track guy, strong arm, he's your favorite around town.
Yeah, I think he's the best player in Stark County. He's gotten better every single year, and now he's into his senior year. He's got to be the guy for this Alliance Aviator team, and he will be. Not a lot of guys go play quarterback at Oklahoma. Just to think of some, over the years, Josh Heupel, White, Sam Bradford, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts. Those are some pretty strong names. So for Brennan Zerbrug, it's an outstanding honor for him to be offered by that school, but I think he's good enough to back it up. He's got great size, 6'4", 200 pounds. He's an athlete. He can run. He's their kicker. He does the punting and kicking for Alliance as well, and he's Mr. Everything for Alliance. But it's not just him. He's got a great supporting cast. They've got 4 offensive linemen back that are starters from a year ago. They've got a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball at the skill positions. They do replace a Division I running back in Caden Davis, but they've got a lot. They've got Kayvon Davis, his brother, playing receiver out there. They've got a lot of talent on this Alliance roster.
Boy, I'll tell you what, opening weekend, always exciting. You know that the fans are going to come out. You're going to have pageantry. You got the bands out here. We just saw Youth Day. Some really cool things going on here inside of Bluestreak Stadium. Reminding everybody to follow us on social media at Stark Media Team, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then as you have us here right on our YouTube channel streaming live, remember that high school football at Stark Media is always brought to you by our friends at Eagles FOE 190 and Hilscher Clark Electric Company. Hey, real quick, man, before we start getting into breaking this down a little bit more, what we saw last night through weather delay, lightning, we kept saying 25, 25, 25 because it kept hitting and it kept pushing us back till about a 1:23 left in the third quarter over there at Lowell Kleinfelder Field. We finally started the action back up at about 10:15. A long, late night for us, but the Perry Panthers able to win that game 42-25. We saw a lot of different things. We got a chance to see Brennan Betts for Central, who played his first game there after transferring in from East Canton. But Ryder Hartshorn, he was our Hilscher Clark Electric player of the game. That was impressive to watch. And, I know we kind of noticed that Perry isn't the big size of what Perry typically is running out of that wing tee. But I'll tell you what, you keep handing that ball to Ryder Hartshorn, he made things happen. And there was a stable of tailbacks that made things happen. You had Simmons, Roy Simmons. You had Marcellus Harris. That was a staunch run game last night.
Yeah, it was really impressive. Over 440 yards to get in. And it was a really impressive performance by them.
So 212 yards on the ground last night for Ryder Hartshorn, and we also know that Sandy Valley and Brian Gamble, they were able to roll into Fairless and get a W in week 1, taking on the Falcons. A.J. Sarball coming off a run over the last 3 years that has only been matched one time in Fairless history, Fairless school history. They got the new school being built there. Great Bride-Weezer Stadium. It's fun, great atmosphere over there. Our guy Jeff Tyler was down there with Dom Emer, Luke Yoder, Brody Pomio. 29-22 ball game. You know, I got to tell you to put your offensive coordinator hat back on again, because as everybody knows, Drew Strackman coached a lot of different places around the area. My alma mater, Glen Oak, head coach at Triway, won a state championship at Hoban. But for me to see that game was knotted up 14-all between Sandy Valley and Fairless, and then I believe it was Fairless that scored first, breaking that, and they went for 2.
Yep, and they got it.
And then Sandy does the same thing, and it's knotted up 22-22. Sandy Valley would ultimately get the win 29-22. You talked a lot about you're going to find out how great of a coach A.J. Sarball is after losing so many great players off of that great run over the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, you know, and they looked good last night from what I understand. He's not going to be happy they give up 2 scores in the fourth quarter. That's not something you want to do. But I think Fairless will be fine. They're going to be good the rest of the season. They're going to be competitive in the pack, and it'll be interesting.
So as the Lake Bluestreak Marching Band has taken the field and we're getting ready to rock and roll here, we know that some of our good friends, our compadres over around town, Jeff Tyler and Rod Strata, they are live on Jackson's Boxcast. So make sure if you want to check them out, go to Jackson High School's webpage. And if you're able to order that Boxcast, you will be able to hear them. It'll be a great night over there as they welcome in Menor. Jay Rohr and Jackson trying to get things going in the right direction here for the 2023 season. And our guys Rod Strata and Jeff Tyler will have that for you. Also over at Hoover, the Vikings hosting Buchtel. Buchtel making that great run last year before they would run into West Branch and they would fall. But great quarterback coming back for them, Stevie Diamond, and a great quarterback, Drew, coming back for North Canton. Carson Derland, he's another guy. You know, when you talk about some great quarterbacks around the area, I think his stock's going to be on the rise. He's got some good guys to work with. Zach Brocker, Mason Ashby, you know, got to figure out that offensive line, typical of what we're going to maybe see here tonight as we break this down. But how do you kind of see that Jackson Menor and that Hoover Buchtel game going on tonight?
You know, Jackson, I think, is in a rebuilding phase, which is fine for them because they've got a young quarterback. So they're going to kind of rebuild around that young quarterback, Lucas Eckerman. It's going to take them some time. They're well-coached, bunched over there. I think it could be a decent game tonight against Menor. I think Menor probably comes out on top with the experience.
They're not really the same Menor that they've been lately, right?
No, not for a while there. And then Hoover, you talk about Carson Derland. He got better every single week last year. You know, by the time he was in the playoffs, he was playing as well as anybody in the state of Ohio at the quarterback position. Yep. And I like them tonight to get off the season, you know, on a good note and beat a very good Buchtel team, a Buchtel team that went to the regional final last year, right?
Strong.
Lost a close one to West Branch, I believe.
That was a hell of a game.
Yeah, so, you know, I think Stark County is going to have a good night overall.
New grandstands being opened up over there at Memorial Stadium. Always one of the fun places to play. Jim Bostic and Tim Budd will have that call for you over there. Shout out to all the athletic directors around the area here. Tom Oakes doing a great job over there, and Jeff Crocker doing a great job over at Jackson. Our guy right here, Brock Klein. Shout out to all you ADs that put us in the driver's seat. Appreciate all that you do for Stark Media. As we hear the alma mater getting ready to start here, kind of gives me chills, partner, here in that Carmen, Ohio. I'm not going to sing it for you. They used to make us sing it. Maybe one day we'll get C. Grant to come up here and do his rendition. But before we get ready to hear our national anthem down on the field, when you look at this Alliance team, and we know that there's 2 other big games going on between 2 of our big schools around the area. Massillon's going to be taking on Valdosta. That's the power game, right? The all-time winningest high school football game ever played. Number 1 and number 4, respectively, in the country, Valdosta and Massillon. And then you look at McKinley and Harding. They're going to get ready to square off 60th meeting in that President's Cup. Massillon was able to pick up a transfer from Alliance, the big boy, Jason Lewis. He's not going to be on this O-line, so I know that's a big missing piece in front of Brendan Zerbrug, but you still got guys like Aiden Mosden. You got a playmaker like Ramir Hawkins. You talked about Kayvon is still here, you know, but you know as well as I do. I don't care how great of a quarterback you are. If you don't have the boys up front, if you got guys in your lap within 2 to 3 seconds, doesn't matter how good you are, you're not going to have much success. Yeah, and Coach Goodman's really impressed with this group. He's got 4 starters returning, but they're going to have to do a great job of keeping Zerbrug upright. Coach Viscount, the defensive coordinator at Lake, loves to bring a variety of different pressures. He did that last year against Akron East, who had a very good passing attack, and they shut him down. They had about 6 sacks in that game. They've had key sacks. That defense is very good at Lake, so that offensive line is going to have to step up and do its job for the Aviators. You know, Anthony Miller is a guy that I'm kind of keying in on. I believe he's committed to Air Force. a big dude. I mean, he's all of 6'5", maybe 290, 295 plus. As we get ready to take it down to the field for our national anthem here in just a second. That to me is really one of those keys, man. I love seeing the big boys up front and how they can kind of handle business, taking care of your quarterback, giving them the time that they need. Anthony Miller, he's a stud up front.
He is, and the Lake offensive line did a great job last year. What's going to be interesting for me is last year, anytime Lake got in trouble, what did they do? They asked Will Butler to tote the rock and run them to victory. He's not there anymore. Cale Jarvis has this job all by himself, so we're going to have to see. He's got some playmakers, Nate Baker, Charlie Christopher. Some of those guys returned from last year, some very talented players, but we're going to have to see if Lake has the ability to score. They also lose Matt Solberger, the running back.
Tough runner that they had. We'll take it down to the field as the Lake Bluestreak Marching Band gets ready to honor our country with the playing of our national anthem. All right, great job by the Lake Bluestreak Marching Band as those boys in the back of the end zone, the Bluestreaks, coached by Dan DeGeorge, hiving up at the goal line, getting ready to take the field. You see that coaching staff walking out there. And you talked about Coach Viscount. Think about this. Matt Christopher, all that he did. I mean, what an absolute stud. Got to be a great feeling to be able to come out here and coach your son.
Oh, yeah. And Charlie's very good. He's going to play both ways for Lake tonight. He's going to run the ball a little bit. He plays linebacker. He's a standout. And he's only a junior. He played a lot last year, and they're going to rely on him again this year.
The Bluestreaks have taken the field, and now we wait for the Alliance Aviators. And one thing, Drew, that sticks out to me, and Coach Goodman kind of tweeted out there a couple weeks ago, love the powder blue helmets.
Oh, yeah, they're really nice. I like what Alliance has redone, retooling their logo there over the last couple of years, and that's a good look, those helmets up close.
Appreciate everybody tuning in to us here live on our Stark Media Team YouTube channel. Remember, we'll be back with our friends next week over at Perry High School as we kind of launch, as school opens back up, that new deal with our live video feed. So we apologize about some stuff last night. We had some technical difficulties, but one guy who never has technical difficulties, he's down on the field, Mark Milano.
There you go. Great night for football. Had a chance to talk to Dan DeGeorge for a little bit tonight, and he told me this is by far and away the biggest roster that he's ever had that's over here. And you look back at last season, success brings success, but with that, they've had a ton of injuries that they have over here. Coach Viscount told me that he has not had a game yet where he had all his defensive starters out on the field. Tonight will be no different, but at least he'll have that linebacking core ready to rock and roll out here this evening.
Mark Milano down on the sidelines. Appreciate you as always, buddy. And boy, we are ready to rock and roll here now. I'll tell you what, it's that feeling. It's in the air. It's really not too hot. Typically, we get some warm ones, partner, early in the season, but nice, cool evening. I know some of that rain that came through last night kind of just brought in a cool, crisp fall air. So we're excited here. We're ready to go inside of Bluestreak Stadium. TJ Downing, Drew Sarakman, Mark Milano, happy to be a part of your Friday night as we kick off week 1 of Ohio high school football right here in Stark County. No place better to do it Then right here, got us in the driver's seat. We got teams out on the field. The Aviators will return the ball first. They will get the ball first. The Blue Streaks will kick off, and nice crowd has trickled in here, especially for the Blue Streaks. I guess kind of is it the theme around town that everybody's kind of doing the construction worker look? The student body. Don't see it much here from the Lake Blue Streaks, but the Aviators are over there. They're excited, and here we go. Time for high school football right here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel. Lake Blue Streaks ready to kick this thing off. And we're underway here in Uniontown. Return from the 10-yard line. Oh, bobbled at the 9. They're going to scoop it up, and we'll see if we can get back across the 10. They'll make it out to the 14-yard line where Brennan Zerbrug will bring out the offense.
Yeah, you got to be able to field that cleanly. They gave up probably 10 yards of field position there. This is going to be interesting to start, TJ. It's the strength of both teams. Lake's defense versus Alliance's offense. And like we said, like Mark said, there are some injuries out there, most notably number 33, Dane Jarvis, the standout defensive end for Lake, is out tonight.
So your Apex Surgical injury update, Dane Jarvis, key piece for this group. We'll see how it affects this Lake Blue Streak defense running four defensive linemen across that front. It's going to be a Brennan Zerbrug keep, and he will be brought down. Looks like he'll lose a yard there, partner.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, not much there. You know, Lake's really going to focus on him running the football with Caden Davis moving on. One good thing there, number 76 for Alliance, Eli Brown, took big Evan Brady and buried him 10 yards down the field. That's not something you see often.
Starting at left tackle, William McClellan. Next to him at left guard will be Aiden Mosden, and they will get number 84 on the Lake Blue Streak defense to jump off sides. That's Ethan Bollock. Check that again here. That was Malachi Thomas Allen, number 51, starting at left tackle. He's a returning starter. Inside of him, Aiden Mosden. Your center will be number 78, Kevin Frazier. We'll get the rest of that offensive line for you after this play. Going wide to the left for the Aviators, number 6, J.R. Jackson. Inside of him will be Ramir Hawkins, and Zerbrug will pitch it out to number 13, picking up a first down out across the 25 to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, a little speed option look there. He pitched it really early. The running back almost wasn't ready for it, but enough to pick up the first down.
Nice first down pickup as we see number 2 check in here. That's Kayvon Davis. You talked about him. How about a target right there? 6'3", 200 pounds, a serious weapon. He'll go wide to the left. Going right to left on your radio dial are the Alliance Aviators. Wide left, Kayvon Davis. Inside of him, Ramir Hawkins in the shotgun. Brennan Zerbrug, he fakes it. He's going to get it to Davis. He's going to cut up, avoids the tackle of one, but not number 35, Ryan Lipp. He loads them up right back at the line of scrimmage, and they're going to lose one again. So, one of those deals, partner, playing behind the chains on first down, you're going to lose a yard the last 2 first down possessions.
Yeah, they try to throw the little tunnel screen there. Nate Baker and the linebacker are all over it. Nate Baker has to come out of the game here, so this might be a good time to take a shot down the field as his helmet came off.
Going wide out for the Blue Streaks, Joshua Sedmock, another returning starter in that secondary. He's going to cover down on number 6, J.R. Jackson.
Lake just daring Alliance to pass here with 8 in the box.
Zerbrug from the middle of the field. Twins right, twins left, surveys it, dumps it off at the 28-yard line across the 30 to the 35. His receiver, number 17, Rayvon Hawkins.
Yep, Rayvon Hawkins is going to be the tailback tonight for most of the night for Alliance. Not a big kid. He is 5'7", 155, but he's shifty. He can scoot. He caught the little swing pass right there to bring up third down.
We'll call that 3rd and 4 from their own 35-yard line. They'll send 2 receivers wide to the left, 2 receivers short side right, tailback gets the fake. Zerbrug feels the pressure. They're going to dump off the screen to Ramir Hawkins, and he's going to be tracked down back inside the 30. He'll lose 5 yards on that play. The defense, partner, sniffed it out. Those Lake Blue Streak defenders, you talked about it. This is a tough defense returning for Coach Dan DeGeorge.
Yeah, they returned about 7 starters on this defense, and that was Nate Baker. He was a standout last year, was our player of the game last year a couple times, and he really stuffed out that screen there.
Lucius Rouser and Caden Straight finish out that offensive line for the Alliance Aviators. Your starting lineups brought to you by Lindsay's Pizza. Check out Lindsay's Pizza over in Hillsdale Shopping Center, 477-3800, or check them out at lindsays.pizza.com. Punting also will be Brendan Zerbrug. He does a lot of things on this team, and he sends a missile all the way back to the Bluestreak 25, and they will fair catch. And we will now get a chance to see Cale Jarvis. What are some things that stuck out to you last year about Cale Jarvis? I know it's kind of difficult, you know, when you got Will Butler coming in, you swap him back and forth. Hard to get your rhythm, right?
He is a rhythm passer. He likes to get the ball out of his hands quick. He's got quick feet. He's got a quick release. When he gets into trouble, it's when you flush him out of the pocket and you take away his first option. Threw some interceptions last year. He's athletic, not a big runner, but Lake's going to do a good job of spacing the field and trying to throw some quick passes.
1st and 10 for the Bluestreaks. Trips left, single, tailback will go left. He'll miss that opportunity, goes incomplete. So 2nd down coming up. Your offensive line, a trench life warrior over here, man. Cohen Stahl, had a chance to work with him at right tackle, 6'5", 276. At center will be number 53, Christian Kaler. Over at left tackle, we talked about it, Anthony Miller, and playing the guard positions. Turn your back to me, young man. That's number 50, Gavin Zachary, 5'11", 240 pounds. And at left guard, you will have Braden Miller, 6'3", 225-pound junior. We'll get those receivers for you. I know you mentioned one partner, 27, Joshua Sedmock. You talked about Baker as well, number 9. You see Cameron Fowdy-Kuntz going out there. Some talent to work with here for Cale Jarvis.
Absolutely.
Quick pass out to number 2, Nathan Baker. That's the one you spoke of. You're going to have a flag come down. Looks like you'll probably have a face mask.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I don't like that call. His hand was on the back of the player and it touched the back of his helmet. They're going to throw the penalty there. But 2 plays and 2 opportunities trying to get the ball to Nate Baker in 2 different positions. He was at tailback to start. He was a receiver there. So, obviously, they're making a point to get the ball to their playmakers early. It's a huge penalty for Alliance that'll put Lake into their territory.
Interesting little fact here. So we covered a lot. Our good friends at Hilscher Clark Electric Company. We'll talk about them after this play here. But President John Feather, one of the coaches for Lake Center Christian, as Cale Jarvis gets that ball bobbled. It's on the ground. He's diving for it. It's loose. He's going to recover it.
I don't know.
But just a horrible exchange. Ball was snapped down low. And I believe he was able to get underneath it. It was actually number 60, which leads me to what I was getting ready to say. So number 60, Braden Miller, actually goes to Lake Center Christian, plays on the baseball team, great player, first baseman. And when you go to a school like that, if they don't offer football, you get to play at your next closest place, which would be here.
Yep.
So cool little deal. Great baseball player, great baseball team they had last year. Lake Center Christian doing a good job there.
Playoff run.
So we'll see number 27, Josh Sedmock. Cameron, number 9, they'll go wide left, short side right, 1 receiver. Tailback's going to stay in. Cale Jarvis on 2nd down is going to go deep. He's checked for Nathan Baker, and it's incomplete, being covered down by number 27, Brady White.
Yeah, Brady White didn't fall for the double move there. He did a great job of staying in the hip pocket of Nate Baker, which is not an easy thing to do.
Back there in that secondary for Coach Goodman, Bo Davis, Brady White, Carter Fast, and Jackson Eddy. Keep your eye on Jackson. He's a returning starter. Nice wrestler. He's the type of guy that likes to get physical, come down in, and they'll lay a stick on you.
So last year on these 3rd downs, they love to either run the draw or run the rollout on the flood pattern to the trips. Let's see what they do here.
Trips wide to the left. Cale Jarvis going to sit in the pocket. 3rd and 20 coming up, and he's going to be harassed in the backfield. And talk about another great wrestler. Top Gun winner at 205, Aiden Mosden, who was living in the backfield last year. First Top Gun wrestler from Alliance to win in 20 years. Number 56 is an absolute stud.
Yeah, he's a player, both sides of the ball. They must have watched film as well, the Alliance coaches, because they went right to that quarterback draw on 3rd down.
7:32 on the clock here in the first quarter, scoreless ball game. That was the first possession for both teams, and now the Aviators are going to look to get it back as 4th, and we'll call it 24, comes up. Bluestreak's going to punt it away. Getting underneath that ball is number 27, Brady White, for the Aviators, and they will start their 2nd possession of the ball game from the 26-yard line. While we have a chance, let's step aside and take a break. You're listening to High School Football right here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel. Drew Sarakman, Mark Milano down on the field. Second possession of the ball game here for the Alliance Aviators. Scoreless ball game. Brendan Zerbrugg going to fire one in to Kayvon Davis.
Wow.
Complete. 1st and 10 chain mover for Coach Goodman and his offense. And you know, Drew, you just think about that size of a receiver, a 6'3", 200-pound guy, just using your body, playing the position inside, just go up and get it.
Yeah, I love that route. If you've got a quarterback that's accurate and a big receiver, that 4-step slant or hard post that a lot of people like to call it is a great route to throw when those safeties are worried about your speed in the back pedal.
7 minutes on the clock here in the first quarter. Scoreless ball game. Davis is going to go wide to the left. Inside of him, Ramir Hawkins. Brendan Zerbrugg in the shotgun. Tailback flank behind him. Inside, he will follow his fullback, and he won't pick up any. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe lose a foot. As again, that push from the defensive line for those Lake Bluestreaks, led by number 35 and also number 55 up front there. Braden Mitchell, a 6'3". Boy, they're labeling him at 190 pounds. He looks a little bit bigger than that. We kind of saw some roster genius last night with our guy 72. Maybe he's 190, right? I'm about $175. Okay, here we go. 2nd and 10. Hawkins right. Ramir inside slot receiver left. Outside of him, 2 receivers. Kayvon Davis wide left. And Zerbrugg's going to roll out to the left. It's going to be incomplete. Get a flag thrown in the backfield.
Yeah, you know, I think the ball slipped in his hands there as he was trying to get his hips around on the little rollout, but we're going to have a flag in the backfield. And I think he did the old Wyatt Teller twist and drive there on the offensive line.
Thomas Lombardi and Hunter Patterson on the defensive line applying that pressure. So the Aviators will lose real estate.
It's already their 3rd penalty here in the first quarter.
And remind me, Drew, the Aviators, they fell to Cheney last year in the playoffs?
Yeah, tough Cheney team. They had to go up to Cheney or Rand Stadium in Youngstown, which is not an easy place to play, and just a loaded team.
6:16 on the clock here in the first quarter. Scoreless ball game between the Aviators and the Lake Bluestreaks. This presentation's on the Start Media Team YouTube channel, brought to you in part by C.H. Vallis & Associates, H&H Truck Parts, St. John's Senior Living, and AWP. All right, Brendan Zerbrugg working from his right hash. We'll have twins right, twins left. Tailback flanked off his right hip. He's going to stand to block, and here goes Zerbrugg. Finds the 40, out to the 45 where he slides out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, Lake brought one of their really tough to block pressures there, but Zerbrugg got out of the pocket. That's what he can do. Now, you know, Coach DeGeorge chose to decline that penalty. Now they got a 4th and manageable at about midfield. We'll see what Alliance does here.
Early in the season, partner, roll the dice.
Yeah.
Zerbrugg, he's going to drop back. Looks like he's going to punt, but I'll tell you what.
I don't want to give an offense that struggled on us the first time a short field.
They're going to go into punt safe. So they're thinking exactly what you were thinking, and Zerbrugg's going to let it rip. Boy, he tell you what an athlete he is. He smokes that thing all the way back to the 13-yard line. Here's the return out to the 20, where we'll see Cale Jarvis for the 2nd time tonight.
Great special teams tackle there by Logan McCready, the 6'1 senior for Alliance.
You know, and when you think about the run that the Bluestreaks had last year, trying to replace a guy like Will Butler, just not an easy thing to do. He did so many great things for this team, playing linebacker, quarterback, H-back, ran it.
Yeah,
interested to see what his career turns out like, at least for the first year or two at Walsh.
Yeah.
5:59 on the clock here in the first quarter from the 22. 1st and 10 for Cale Jarvis. Picks that ball up off the ground after a bad snap. Fires it out to his receiver, number 2, Baker. There's he's at the 30. Out across the 35, so 1st and 10 pickup.
I'll tell you what, that's our 2nd bad snap we have, and Lake is not using the center that they're originally going to have. Their center that they anticipated having to start the season is hurt. But Alliance, you cannot miss tackles on Nate Baker.
Your Apex Surgical update right there. Not having your center, I'll tell you what, exchanges, especially in a game like last night when it's wet, you know, got fair conditions today. They got to get that worked out. That one a little low as well, but they're going to hand it off, go right up the heart of the defense, get a nice push from that offensive line. His big number 60, Braden Miller, pushing him forward all the way in there. Christian Kaler as well, helping their tailback, who looked like he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, pick up 5.
Yeah, nice little push. Didn't look like they were going to get much, but Kept churning the legs there. And, Lake wants to win this game. They're going to have to find a way to run the football on Alliance.
Adam Zumbar and Carter Fast, along with Jackson Eddy playing up in the box. Your linebackers across that defensive line, Frazier, Mosden, number 55, Caden Straight. So a lot of two-way players here for the Alliance Aviators. Cale Jarvis gets a fast one out to his receiver, number 8, out across the 45 to the 48-yard line. That's Ryan Anderson, the senior.
Yeah, that corner's got to get out of his back pedal. They've gone at number 27, Brady White, a couple times now. That's the 4th completion they've had on his side of the field. So they're trying to stay away from the more athletic J.R. Jackson on the other side.
That was not Frazier out there. That's Lucius Rouser playing that 3 technique, as you see Mosden over top of the center. You also have number 8, C.J. Daniel, playing over top of Anthony Miller, who beats Anthony Miller inside, able to shed the big offensive tackle, all of 6'5", 285. So C.J. Daniel, let's do the math here, partner. He is he's given up almost 90 pounds. A great job by the defensive end, shedding the offensive tackle, falling inside, making that tackle, forcing a 2nd and 8. Bluestreak's going to be smack dab right in the middle at the 50, and they're going to be able to get not only Aiden Mosden but Rouser. That defense jump, so an easy 5 yards. That's going to make it 2nd and 3.
Yeah, you can't give up yards like that, especially when Lake's offense is struggling a little bit. Right now for the Lake offense, it's been find Nate Baker and get him the ball. So if I'm Alliance, that's an adjustment. Maybe you shadow him a little bit with one of your more athletic players when he goes out there, but you do not want to give them easy 5 yards like that.
Sedmock and Foudy Kuntz going to go wide to the left. Baker, he's going to be short side right. CJ, check that. Jarvis going to follow his lead blocker, follow Anthony Miller to a first down inside the 40. He'll get it all.
The little lead blocker there, the offensive line was able to cover up the defensive tackles, and the linebackers were caught up in the wash.
Trying to check that tailback, who was the lead blocker for him there, right off his left hip.
They've been rotating quite a few.
They have. Looks like it's number 25 who's in there now, A.J. Doan. So he'll be on the right hip of Jarvis. Single receiver left, 2 receivers to the right from midfield. From the middle, set up inside of the hashes. There's Baker. He snags one. Feet, his heels right at the line at the, we'll call it 31-yard line. So nice pickup, nice catch, nice reception, nice pass. All in all, the Bluestreaks moving down the field now with 3:18 remaining here in the first quarter. Scoreless ball game inside of Lake Bluestreak Stadium. 2nd and 4 coming up.
Yeah, it was just a little smash route. They're continuing to pick on number 27 there at corner.
Number 27, Brady White, returning Letterman, junior, 5'9", 155 pounds. He'll be matched up again on Baker, and there's where Carroll Jarvis is looking. He's going up top. Home run shot, got him at the goal line, and what a play by Brady White.
I'll tell you what, he got his hand in there at the perfect spot, or that's a touchdown. Ball was a little bit underthrown, but he gave him a shot to go up and get that.
That's got a little bit more on top of it, Drew. That's going to be a touchdown, and Nate Baker's coming off the field thinking, man, we missed an opportunity right there, but you got to credit him. Brady White talked about it. They've kind of been picking on him here a little bit. Great pass breakup. Going to force a 3rd and 4.
And we got a holding penalty actually on Alliance. It was behind the line of scrimmage, so they're only going to walk off 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. New rule change.
You talked about that last night.
New rule change. Penalties behind the line of scrimmage used to be marked off from the spot. Now they're marked off from the line of scrimmage.
2 receivers short side right. Receiver wide to the left. There goes Sedmock in motion. Fake the jet. You're going to come back door to number 25. He'll get it past the original line of scrimmage. That's A.J. Doan. So they will be 3rd. We'll call it 3rd and long. Here with 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, kind of a rough spot there they gave him. I thought he got at least 2 more yards. But, what Lake really likes to do here sometimes is just run that single receiver to the sticks and hitch it up. So if you're the corners, you really got to play that first down marker.
Apex surgical injury update. You're going to see A.J. Doan come out of the game, not putting any pressure on that left ankle, and you're going to insert Joey Garrow at tailback. He will be on the left hip of Jarvis. Jarvis going to roll out behind Garrow. Looks for some help. Garrow gets a block for him. Now Jarvis comes back to the right, reversing field, And big number 55 along with C.J. Daniel. They're going to wrap them up. That's Caden Straight, the senior 6'2", 255-pounder. And there you go. You just, on second down, had gotten it back up across the line of scrimmage. Now you're going to be, we'll call it 4th and 19.
That's a huge play for the Alliance defense. They need to get out of the shadow of their goalposts here. Alliance have been in the shadow of their goalpost the whole game, so let's see if they can get a nice return.
Beautiful crowd here inside of Lake Bluestreak Stadium. Your punter able to pull it down, and Brady White's going to let that go into the back of the end zone. So you see that's number 17, your punter, Dutton, senior. We saw a lot of him last year.
Kelton Dutton.
Kind of put his hands on his head thinking, oh, man, you thought I was going to be able to get one down inside the 5-yard line, get that helmet sticker. We'll see if we can't check in with Mark Milano down on the sideline here in just a second as we have a little pause in the action. $1:44 remaining here in the first quarter, scoreless ball game. Did you kind of see this playing out this way, that really no scoring, kind of defensive battle back and forth?
The Lake defense is very good. I expected that out of them.
Mark Milano down on the sidelines.
Hey guys, just a quick injury report down here, and I'll tell you what, Lake is truly the walking wounded this evening, and A.J. Doan just went down over here. It looks like it's a left ankle sprain that he's got. They're going to try to get him rolling, but not normally do I come to a game and really want to see the punters. We got two of the best punters in the area over here, Dutton's All-Ohio and Brendan Zerbrug. All he did was average about 39 yards a punt last season, and he's doing it again this year. But I'll tell you what, guys, it is very physical down here on the field this evening.
Great stuff, Mark.
Yeah, it looks like it is physical down there.
As on first down from their own 20-yard line, Brendan Zerbrug is able to find Ramir Hawkins and pick up a nice 8-yard chunk. Going to set up a 2nd and 2 with a $1:22 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, Alliance coaching staff wanted a face mask there. I think, if that was on their sideline, they might have got that. But Alliance has got to find a way to run the ball a little bit to loosen up this defense. They're giving them a 6-man box only sometimes, and you got to be able to run the football if that's the case.
Tailback on the right hip of Zerbrug. He'll fake it. Zerbrug feels the pressure. Now he's going to roll out to the left. Now he's going to come back to the right. He's all the way back at the 10-yard line. He's going to fire it. It'll be incomplete. And number 84 for the Lake Bluestreak is going to take him down to the ground, Ethan Ballack.
They had a throwback screen set up from the get-go, and the Lake pressure got in there too quick, flushed Zerbrug away from the screen. He did a great job evading the rush, retreating, and being able to throw the ball out of bounds.
Apologize, I've been saying that young man's name wrong now twice here. That's Ethan Baluch, the senior 6', 170-pounder, returning starter from last year. One of those defensive ends who's not going to be afraid of the speed that Zerbrug has. You kind of saw that with Cale Jarvis working against the big defensive tackle. Usually you can fake those guys out. Zerbrug with his speed wasn't able to do it there, and he's going to do a quarterback draw and design quarterback run, and he's going to run right into the back of number 55, the guy I was just talking about. So good pressure up front, Drew, for that defensive line of the Lake Bluestreaks.
Yeah, 55 and 35, Ryan Lippy there came in, took the post foot of the offensive tackle, and just hit Zerbrug in the backfield. They've done a great job on design runs against Zerbrug.
Shout out to the Lake Bluestreak staff up here getting us the phonetic spelling that I just remembered I had up here on the wall. So get all these guys right for you, because I'll tell you what, week 1 of Ohio high school football, these guys deserve all the praise they get. With 3 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, they'll let it trickle down before a 4th and 4 comes up for the Aviators from their own 27-yard line. All right, scoreless ball game here heading to the second quarter. We'll step aside and take a break. You're listening to high school football right here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel.
For nearly 100 years, St. Joseph Senior Living has provided award-winning care to families in Northeast Ohio. Located at 2308 Reno Drive in Louisville, St. Joseph Senior Living and the Alsatian have a variety of services to assist your loved ones. To schedule a tour or gain more information, call us at 330-875-5562 or visit us online at stjosephseniorliving.org.
The leader in quality drivetrain components, H&H Truck Parts is a name you can trust. Located in Valley View, Ohio at 5500 South Cloverleaf Parkway, H&H can handle all your heavy-duty truck needs. Come in and exchange your transmission, differential, or power steering gearbox. But that's not all. H&H is equipped to handle all your parts needs. Permco pumps, Muncie PTOs, Neapco U-joints, Spicer yokes, new Eaton clutches, and more. Let the professionals at H&H Truck Parts handle your transmission or differential installation in one of their 6 service bays. Specializing in drivetrain repairs, stop by and have your drive shaft balanced, flywheel resurfaced, or your clutch installed alongside the best transmissions and Welcome back into Rock'em Blue Country. Scoreless here to start the second quarter as number 4, Brennan Zerbrug, airmails one, we'll call it 32-yard line. Check at 33 where Cale Jarvis will come out with the offense, and we'll see, as Mark mentioned, that Apex Surgical injury update, if we're going to get a chance to see A.J. Doan or if it will be, it's Joey Garrow coming out. Joey Garrow is a guy that you talked about a lot in the offseason, what he did last year defensively, just an absolute stud.
Yeah, I love him. He's all over the field on defense. You know, it's been kind of quiet tonight, but now they're going to need him in the backfield with the injury.
Cale Jarvis has stacked receivers left. He's going to get it out to Baker. He's going to make a move, and I don't think he's going to get anything. Not biting on it. They tried to put a guy to block the receiver in front of him on Brady White, and there goes number 12 for the Aviators coming in there for the big tackle. Great job, as you mentioned, by Logan McCready.
Yeah, phenomenal effort there. You know, Nate Baker's not an easy guy to bring down, and he stood his ground and was able to wrap him up and bring him down for a 4-yard loss.
That'll set up 2nd and 12 from the 30, the Bluestreak's own 30. So the officials, as they mentioned, will call a timeout there. They're going to get things reset. So as we have a LPL financial scoreboard update, Hoover striking first over against Buchtel. Carson Derlin going in for a touchdown on his feet, 7-0 with 8:32 on the clock in the first quarter. That scoreboard brought to you by our friends at LPL Financial. Make sure to reach out to my guy Manuel Patterson, 330-244-9779. Yeah, that's the thing really about Carson. You know that, well, do we know how much of an arm is there? Because when he really was thrown into the fire early as a sophomore, when Henny went down, I believe you had another quarterback go down, and you get thrown in the fire, and he really didn't, Coach Baum didn't want him to pass a whole lot, but he's got legs. I mean, the guy can move.
Yeah, he really can.
End of one, Menor leading Jackson 3-0. Cardinals are now driving to start the second. Yeah, I think Carson Derland, he's a guy that everybody just wants to kind of see. Take the handcuffs off. See what that deep threat looks like. And when you got a guy like Zach Brocker, I know you're going to want to kind of work a lot of that screen game,
Mason Ashby, though,
like they do here with Nathan Baker. They kind of do the same thing with Ashby, but I want to see that home run threat.
Yeah, they've got some weapons over there in North Canton, and they do a great job. We've got another scoreboard update, kind of a surprise here. Over in the big game, the 2 winningest teams in the history of high school football are facing off, Valdosta and Massillon. Valdosta off to a quick 14-0 lead over the Massillon Tigers.
Came off the bus, not intimidated. I'll tell you what, we talked about it last night. When they got off the bus at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I was there to see it. I had a chance to talk to Coach Shelton Felton. They just kept coming off the bus. There was 140 kids. It was unbelievable.
Sounds like Valdosta took a big long run on the first play of the game against the Tigers.
Another cell phone turned into the press box. Once again, we got 2 cell phones here.
Somebody looking for a cell phone. Well, while we have a chance here, officials timeout. Let's take a break. You're listening to High School
Power
Football right
outages
here on
can
the Start
happen at
Media
any
Team
time
YouTube
without
channel.
warning and can leave your home powerless for days. Hilscher Clark has partnered with Generac to bring you the #1 selling home standby generator brand. Engineered and built in the USA since 1959. With a home standby generator, your home will never lose power again. Generac generators activate automatically in the event of any power loss and restore power to your home within seconds. Don't leave your home unprotected. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark's residential division are experts in their profession and go above and beyond to provide you with quality, efficient service at a fair price. Starting with the estimate, they keep you informed regarding status and completion of your projects. They also give you shorter arrival windows and send you email and text confirmations of your scheduled service appointment, as well as notifications when their electricians are on their way to your home. Hilscher Clark's Google reviews speak for themselves, with more than 270 reviews and 4.9 stars. And if you've just recently purchased an electric vehicle but don't want to rely on public chargers to keep your battery full, Hilscher Clark has all the juice you can handle for your home vehicle charging needs. Hilscher Clark is a certified Q Merit Solutions partner, making them market leaders in electrification and recommended by local dealerships. Visit them online at www.hilscher-clark.com. That's HILSCHER-CLARKE.com. Or stop down and see them at 519 4th Street Northwest in downtown Canton. Or contact Hilscher Clark today at 330-452-9806. That's 330-452-9806. Remember, it's your home, it's our family. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark Electric Company.
Here in a scoreless ball game between the Alliance Aviators, the visiting Alliance Aviators, and the Lake Bluestreaks. Bluestreaks, after a timeout down there on the field, Drew, you just mentioned, I believe somebody lost their lunch. First week, man, you get a little nervous, right?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a big possession, I think, for Lake here.
No doubt. 2nd and 12 coming up for them. Jarvis going to roll right, avoid C.J. Daniel. He's got some real estate, but he wants to stay at the line of scrimmage. He's going to push his receiver down, number 9. He gets him at the 50 inside of Aviator territory down to the 45-yard line. So great job of Cale Jarvis pressing that line of scrimmage, not getting too far down. He finds Foudy Kuntz, the senior, for a nice pickup.
Yeah, great patience. You know, a lot of guys pick that up and run, and he probably only got 6 yards. But he kind of played a game of cat and mouse there with the corner. Corner came up, eventually said, well, I got to go up in case he runs, and he flipped it right over his head. You need the rest of your defensive pursuit there.
2 receivers wide to the left, single receiver short side right. Cale Jarvis gets a snap a little off to his left, and you're going to see, I believe that is A.J. Doan back in the ball game. It is.
Doesn't look very explosive.
Yeah, thinking about that left ankle. Came off hobbling about with 4 or 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter, so he's back in it now with 10:34 on the clock in the second. A 2nd and 11 coming up now for the Bluestreaks from the 46-yard line of Alliance. Shout out to Coach Goodman, man. He got the promotion. He's the new athletic director out there at Alliance. Taking over for a guy that we lost way too early, a legend, Lenny Reich, an inside pass, and there goes your boy, Brady White, man. I'll tell you what, they've been picking on him, but he puts his shoulder
That's a great
inside. Coverage. That is great.
They're running the RPO there on the backside, throwing the slant. So what happens is they pull the guard, so the linebacker's seeing, I got to go, I got to fill, and what it does is it opens up that window for the slant. You know, our buddy number 27 there, Brady White, was all over it, got there right when the ball did, dislodged the ball, incomplete. Coach George wanted pass interference, but I don't think that was pass interference.
Jarvis trying to get it into Ethan Hunt, the junior receiver. As we saw Sedmock just check back into the game. So you have Baker in the slot to the left with Hunt outside of him, and they're looking to the left. Jarvis looking left, now rolling right. He's going to press that line of scrimmage again. He fires it downfield.
That's
intercepted. Tried to fit it in to number 9, Foudy Kuntz. Kind of same situation we just saw on the big pickup he had before. Press that line of scrimmage. He waited. He could have taken off, but he fires it in. It's interception.
Two thoughts on that play. For the first time today, Alliance said, okay, we're not afraid of the speed. They pressed the outside receivers. They didn't let him have a clean release. And the other thing is, what did I say before the game? Sometimes when he gets outside the pocket, Cale Jarvis, last year he got into trouble through some interceptions. It's exactly what happened right there.
And I apologize because that was on the far side of the field. I believe that may have been Jackson Eddy with the interception. Don't quote me on that. We'll get a update here at the half. 10 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Scoreless ball game. Zerbrug's going to take over from his own 27-yard line. It's a design quarterback run off tackle right, and he'll get a little bit of a push. Maybe we'll call it 2 yards. He picks it up out to the 29.
Yeah, Big Evan Brady was there. No one went and blocked the massive inside linebacker who played great for the Lake Bluestreaks last year, and he was easily able to track down Brennan Zerbrug there. Evan Brady, like I said, big linebacker, coming in at 5'11", 225. He looks bigger than that because he's got the 1990s cowboy collar on.
Looking like he should be a 72 out there.
Yeah.
Ramir Hawkins and J.R. Jackson going to go to the short side right. Twins wide to the left. Davis will be wide out there. That's where they're going. Nice ball by Zerbrug. In and out of the hands. A little bit high, but that's one that Davis has got to bring down.
Yeah, I mean, it was right above his helmet.
Got that sun coming in there, too.
Yep, that's a long throw. I don't think he had to jump for it. I think that's kind of what threw him off. But I'd like to see Alliance take these quick hitches outside. With all their speed, they're a missed tackle away from going to the house every play.
You mentioned it earlier, partner, in the pregame show that Caden Davis, he's going to be suiting up here for the Penguins up at Youngstown State. That's a big loss. Big guy, a big talent out of the backfield that you have to replace here. Zerbrug, he's going to have to pick it up himself here. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, goes back to Davis.
Ball.
Gets it to him on the sideline. He does haul it in. Is he going to have enough for the first down? I think they're going to mark him a yard shy. Line to gain is at the 37. They're going to mark him out at the 36.
Yeah, he's going to be a yard short, but, Alliance might want to explore bringing in a bigger back on these 3rd downs because they've got big linebackers coming off the edge. And the tailback there, Hawkins is 5'7", 155 trying to pick up Joey Garrow off the edge, and he just got smushed like a bug.
Big boy package in here on 4th and 1. Zerbrug under center, turns, hands off to the fullback. He gets enough push forward.
That's impressive by Alliance. I think he's got it.
Yep, they wave him forward. So not sure if there was an equipment malfunction or number 76, Lucius Rouser, was in there on the offensive line, and then I saw right before that play, Aiden Mosden came trotting back in. Lucius Rouser starting across that defensive line. Mosden going to be back at his left guard spot. Big offensive line in front of Zerbrug. 2 receivers wide to the right. 2 receivers to the short side right. Davis will be wide to the right. Ramir Hawkins, slot receiver inside short left. That's where Zerbrug's looking. Eye in the field left. Now he's going to take off running, and he's going to be caught from behind.
Job.
Nice tracking play by number 40 for the Bluestreaks, Thomas Lombardi.
Yeah, that's where Brendan Zerbrug's dangerous because he can go when he steps up in that pocket. But, great job by Lake there. I think what's going to help them out in the passing game is they're going to stop bringing these blitzes if you can hit some of these short passes in the middle of the field.
Partner, he's got to utilize that hurdle that got him the 300 Stark County Championship. Got him all the way down there to Jesse Owens Memorial Track Stadium. Great talent, Brendan Zerbrug. Here we go on 2nd and 11. Eye in the pocket. He's going to pass it across the middle. Nice reception by Davis. Check that. That's Ramir Hawkins.
Should be enough for a first down again.
Number 6, that was J.R. Jackson.
That ball just comes out of Brendan Zerbrug's hands different.
Yep, that's a nice ball coming across the middle. So first down pickup for Alliance out to their 48-yard line. Fresh set coming up for the offense. 7:32 on the clock here in the second quarter. It's rolling. Scoreless ball game between the Aviators and the Bluestreaks.
You know what? They're starting to loosen up a little bit. Throw the ball around. Let's see if it loosens up the box here for Lake. They were having 8 in the box. Then they went to 7. Now they got 6 in the box.
Zerbrug going to take a shot down to Davis. Going to go over top of him and incomplete. So 2nd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, great coverage there. Not a lot of room to fit that corner route in.
Stay with us here for the C.H. Vallis and Associates halftime show coming up. Get you some stats. Talk about some scores around the area on our LPL Financial scoreboard.
Number 71 is in there for Alliance on the offensive line. I believe he's a sub for 76. 76 is on the sideline there, holding his wrist.
Aaron Symes, 6'3", 270, a sophomore. See what he's able to do. You're going to get 2 guys leaking in. There's Joey Garrow getting to the quarterback all the way back at the 36-yard line. Big loss, over 10 yards on that sack. You also saw in there, I believe that was Lombardi providing some pressure as well. So Joey Garrow is one of those guys, man, you talked about. We got a flag down on the field. He's quick enough to be able to get to Zerbrug. He's not going to be fooled by the moves.
Yeah, he's just a very versatile player on the defensive side. You can play him in the box. He can help stop the run. He can run with the receivers. But, you know, this is exactly what we talked about to start the game is how is Alliance going to be able to handle these variety of different pressures and different looks that they're getting, these blitzes from Lake, and they're struggling with them right now mightily.
Under 7 minutes to go now here in the half. Scoreless, second and 21, third and 21.
Lake's been all over these quick screens. Maybe this is a time you fake the quick screen and try to throw it over their head, get them to bite.
Going left to right on your radio dial, working from the left hash, 2 receivers wide to the right. Zerbrug looking over to the left, gets it to Davis. He's going to get to the 45, to the 50, makes a move, and almost gets past. They're going to wave him down.
Where?
At the 50. So he gets past the original line of scrimmage.
Out of bounds.
Original line of scrimmage was set at the Aviator 48. He's going to get it to midfield, and that's going to set up a 4th and 8.
Yeah, and I think you got to punt this. It looks like they're going to go, but I think, you know, with the way Lake's offense has been, if you got an opportunity to pin them deep, we'll see what happens here.
Zerbrug in the shotgun.
Maybe they just try to draw and get them off sides here.
Ravon Hawkins is going to slide up on his left hip, and now Zerbrug's going to drop back into that short punt set. He's going to let it go.
I love it.
And it's going to hit at the 10. It's going to take a dump into the end zone, and the Blue Streaks will come back out.
I like that decision there by Coach Goodman. Don't let them set up the punt return. They wish it didn't go in the end zone, but it can't be perfect. Yeah, I mean, that was a really risky play to go for it on 3rd and 8 there in the midfield because Lake's offense really hasn't done much. For the exception of getting Nate Baker the ball, the rest of the offense has been pretty stagnant. They've got a turnover, a couple bad snaps, you know, a fumble that they were able to recover. So let's see if Lake can get anything going here with 6 minutes till half.
Scoreless ball game between the Aviators and the Blue Streaks. TJ Downing, Drew Sarakman, and Mark Milano. Happy to be a part of your Friday evening for week 1 of Ohio High School football. Jet sweep for Baker. He's going to be tracked down by Eddie.
Yeah, Jackson Eddie's been playing really well for them for a few years now. A 6'1", 195-pound linebacker.
Downstairs to Mark Milano. We'll see what our guy trolling the sidelines has for us. What do you got down there, partner?
Guys, I would have never thought it was going to be nothing at this point in the game. The two defenses are obviously locking each other down. But one thing for sure, they've got to get the ball in the hands of Nathan Baker more for Lake because he's definitely their playmaker. And with all the great players that come through this Lake system, Coach DeGeorge told me this may be the best athlete that he's ever coached that's out here. And Charlie Christopher's dad, Matt Christopher, that's down here, my gosh, this guy looks like he could go out there and he could play right now. I could see why he was a player down at Ohio State back in the day. He wasn't quite TJ Downing good, but he was pretty good.
Pretty damn good. I'll take it, partner. Thanks, Mark. On that play right there, Cale Jarvis able to hook up with his receiver, number 9, Foudy Kuntz, pick up a first down out to the Blue Streak 32-yard line.
They threw the hitch again.
Twins right, single receiver, short side left. That's Foudy Kuntz. Cale Jarvis going to look out to the right. He's going to get it into the hands of Baker, that athlete that DeGeorge was talking about, almost enough to pick up the first down. He'll get out across the 40 to the 41 and the line to gain at the 42.
You know, if I'm Alliance here, went press coverage with the corners back on the last 3rd down and successful. You have the speed to run with Lake.
Yeah.
You need to get in their face and make Cale Jarvis make a tough throw. You let him throw hitches all the way down the field, he'll do it.
Surprised we saw in that first possession for the Lake Blue Streaks that Alliance was able to find some pressure. We saw Mazden in the backfield, and since then we have not seen that same type of pressure as you just mentioned. Twins left, single receiver right, handoff. That's going to be Garo. Check that. No, number 22. Okay, so taking over for Solberger, who sported number 22. That is Joseph Esposito. So he's got some big shoes to fill. And do we know where Solberger ended up going to school at? I know he was a guy that really had a lot of attention, had some great games for Coach Dan DeGeorge here, and was a 1,000-yard back. 4:14 remaining here in the first half. Scoreless between the Blue Streaks and Aviators. 3rd and 2 coming up for Cale Jarvis. He's going to hand it off to Garo. Garo's going to pick it up after being tracked down off the backside by number 51, Malachi Thomas Allen.
Yeah, Joey Garl just said, I'm not dancing anywhere. I'm just getting downhill.
And that's really what you want. I mean, on 3rd and short, just take it downhill. He's a big guy. He's thick. You can tell he's kind of filled out a little bit more from last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pick up the first. Don't do anything cute. Get the first down here. Allow Cale Jarvis to operate this offense.
I'm telling you right now, coming down to the bottom of the screen here, little hitch or slant to Nate Baker.
Short
the
side left.
Playing off.
They're going to fire it out to Sedmock. Sedmock in and out of his hands. It'll be incomplete.
Both sides. The corners are playing off, and Lake is just taking it. He could have gone to either side there. I would have gone to Nate Baker because it's a shorter throw. They went with the longer throw, weren't able to complete it. But Alliance has to get up and press.
That stops the clock with 3:29 here in the second quarter. Both teams have all their timeouts. High school football on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel, brought to you in part by McNeil & Sons Tree Service, Love the Next Nation MC, Lindsay's Pizza, Sam Center, and Save22.vet. Cale Jarvis in the shotgun. He's going to give the handoff to Garro. He'll be met, and he bounces off. Spin move. There he goes. 40. Down to the 30. I don't think they're going to catch him, partner. We're going to break this thing open. 10-5. Touchdown. Joey Garro took a shot after picking up about 2 yards, spins off of it, and takes it to the crib. 6-0. Lake Bluestreaks.
Yeah, the old third leg drill. He got off balance, put that hand down on the ground, regained his balance, and took off for about another 55 yards. Impressive run.
Boy, just after we hyped him up, he must have been on the headset. He said, it's my time to shine and get this thing cracked open with 3:17 on the clock in the second quarter. Dutton on for the extra point. It's up.
He's just about automatic.
It's good. All right, 7-0 lead for the Bluestreaks here in Rock and Blue Country. We'll step aside and take a break. You're listening to high school football right here on the Stark Media YouTube channel.
Came to Stark Media for the best? Well, now you got it. Check out Lindsay's Pizza on 2827 Whipple Avenue Northwest inside of the Hillsdale Shopping Center. The preferred post-game pizza of the Stark Media team is open until 11 p.m. and it has all the essentials for game day. Pizza, chicken, salads, and sandwiches are just a click away at lindsayspizza.com. But you should trust a former Ohio State All-American and just call them right now at 330-477-3800. 477-3800. This is TJ Downing for Lindsay's Pizza, and I approve this message.
Back here in Lake Bluestreak Stadium, they just lit up Jeff Durbin's scoreboard. The Bluestreaks striking first, 7-0 lead for them over the Aviators with 3:17 remaining here in the first half. We'll see if Brennan Zerbrug is able to answer. We know that Lake will get the ball to start the second half.
Ooh, short kick. Not what you want to do with the line. Oh,
Hawkins coughs it up. It's on the ground, and I think the Bluestreaks got it. They do. Coming up off the bottom of the pile, number 7, David Baluch.
I'll tell you what, that was about to be disaster for Lake. You kick one short, and they catch it on the run. That Alliance return was about to be dangerous. But number 3 there, Ramir Hawkins, couldn't corral the ball. And huge turnover. And Lake has an opportunity to break this ball game wide open before half.
As we just mentioned, they're going to get the ball back to start the second half. You go in there 14-0, come back, and you could have some problems here if you're Coach Goodman.
They like to throw this smash route down here in the red zone, the corner route.
Hey, give it back to Garro. See what he does best. He's at the 20, 15, 10, making a move. He's going to pick up the first down. It's going to be goal to go from the 8-yard line.
I'll tell you what, he's running with a purpose right now. You know, they shuffled a lot of running backs in through the beginning, and I think they found their guy.
Ball's going to be inside the 10-yard line at the 9-yard line. First and goal, Bluestreaks.
So we will see if they decide to go back and feed the beast again. Garro, I believe, is going to check out. They're going to have number 25, A.J. Doan, sub back in. We know that he's got that tender left ankle, so you're going to see Sedmock, Foudy Kuntz go wide to the right. Cale Jarvis going to hand off to Doan. He works his way through, gets down to the 5-yard line. They'll stop him shy at the 6. Second down coming up.
Leading the charge for the Aviators, Carter Fass, number 20. Almost down to about the 6-yard line.
You would think this is where Lake leans on that big offensive line. But this is a huge, huge possession for Alliance here. If they can find a way to hold them to 3, they're in a good position to get the ball back.
All right, Joey Garrow back in the ball game. He's going to have 2 lead blockers in front of him, and number 2, Baker, he's going to take it, and tracking him is Eddie. So that'll be a tackle for loss. That'll drop him back to the 7-yard line. Third down, goal to go coming up. Not sure if I really like the design of that, partner.
Yeah, you know, they're just trying to overload the left side, get the ball to one of their best players there. But, you know, that's compacted, and hats off to this Alliance defensive line. They're holding up down here. Huge third down.
Back to the 7-yard line.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them take a timeout. That's exactly what Lake does.
Looks like they do. So we'll step aside and take a timeout as well. You're listening to high school football here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel. $1:28 remaining here in the first half. 7-0 lead for the Lake Blue Streaks.
The Fraternal Order of Eagles number 190 in Massillon wants you. Stop down to the Massillon ARE at 303 Wyrick Boulevard Northwest. And like our over 1,800 members experience daily, your Eagles membership will give you access to great food and drink specials. Having a party hosted in our banquet facility and seat up to 400 people. When you're coming through downtown Massillon, stop by the Eagles and sign up. And for a small fee, you'll have access and be a part of a fraternity that donates over $100,000 a year to local charities. The Fraternal Order of Eagles ARE number 190 in downtown Massillon. Stop by or call us today at 330-832-73.
McNeil & Sons Tree Service serves the greater Northeast Ohio area by keeping your property clear all year round. Do you have trees that have stretched too close to your home? A rotted tree that has to go? Or perhaps even storm damage? No job is too big or small for McNeil & Sons. We specialize in large tree removal.
Here we go. We'll see what Cale Jarvis and company have for the Alliance Aviators.
I like the corner out to 27.
He's rolling out to the right, gets a block from Doan, throws it to the
Short.
pylon, and it's going to skip a little short. So 4th down coming up from the 6-yard line. Check it, 7.
I'll tell you what, I think they had 27 there for Lake open on that corner route. Josh Sedmock, if he sees that early and lets it go, that might be a touchdown. So huge stop for Alliance there. This is not much more than a chip shot for Kelton Dutton.
So Dutton kicking from the left hash. He'll have a 24-yarder. Lines it up, snaps back, ball's down. It's up. And
I put the Maloik on him.
to the right.
Wow, huge for Alliance.
There you go. Big stop right there after the Ramir Hawkins fumble.
I apologize to Kelton Dutton.
You better apologize to his family, too, if they're listening. Now, I'll tell you what. As Mark mentioned earlier, I mean, he was one of the most reliable kickers in the county last year. You know, a big part of the run that they made. I mean, and you can't really, I guess, quantify how great a kicker is just based off of the field goals. You think about what he does just kicking the ball off, putting teams in tough positions, and you saw how upset he was with himself when he punted the ball and it went into the end zone. You know, great punters want that thing to check up at the 5.
Yeah. What a bullet dodge there by Alliance. But, hey, I'll tell you what. Last year, they would have scored there because Will Butler would have been barreling into the end zone.
Zerbrug, he's going to take off running. He's at midfield. He's at the 25, makes a move on Garrow. He doesn't bite on it. He'll fall back into the 30-yard line.
They got to run their 2-minute offense here.
He's going to be, we'll call it a half a yard shy of the first down marker that's set at the 30.
A little more sense of urgency here from Alliance they need.
Under a minute to go now here in the first half. 7-0 lead for the Blue Streaks. 2nd and a half a yard for Zerbrug. He rolls out to the left, gets a block, and they're going to throw the flag on it on number 78, Kevin Frazier, and he takes a shot on Lombardi, and Lombardi is down on the ground. Looked from our vantage point, partner, like the head was across.
But here's the thing. There is no blindside block within the tackle box. So how is that called right there?
Is that considered the tackle box where they were at? Just when and that's the hard thing for an official, right? When that pocket starts moving,
the whole line was moving, right?
Yeah, so is that part of the rule? Does the tackle box shift if it's what we used to call in college elephants on parade, right?
Yeah.
Everybody start going left, and your tackle box may have started at the right hash, but now it's at the left hash. But nonetheless, Apex surgical injury update. Thomas Lombardi is down on the ground being attended to. As we know, the penalty will come in on Kevin Frazier, the junior, 5'11", 235-pounder. So while they're attending to him, we'll step aside and take a break. You're listening to High School Football right here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel. Welcome back into Bluestreak Stadium. TJ Downing, Drew Sarackman, Mark Milano down on the sidelines with our injury timeout down on the field. A 7-0 lead for the Lake Bluestreaks. 51 seconds remaining. Lake over top of Alliance. Before we head to the C.H. Vallis & Associates halftime show, partner, you have a scoreboard update courtesy of our friends at LPL Financial. Make sure to contact Manuel Patterson at 330-244-9779 for all your financial service needs and grow your wealth.
Yeah, over in Slabtown, in Canton South, which everyone thought was going to be a high-scoring affair. Last year, there was over 100 points scored in this game. Canton South is up 6-0 with 8 minutes to half on St. Clairsville. St. Clairsville beat Canton South last year in a close one. So two teams that are hoping to make deep playoff runs this year in a tight game just like this one. I'll tell you what, that penalty really hurts Alliance there. They were going to be across the 30-yard line, with about a minute to go. Their offense was churning. Now they're looking at 2nd and 15, where you got to be careful because you don't want to turn the ball over here.
So the Aviators will come back out onto the field. As you mentioned, partner, still another injury update. You're going to have number 71 in there at offensive guard for the Aviators. Aaron Syme has subbed in for Lucius Rouser, and he misses the blitz pickup, so Brendan Zerbrug's just going to have to fire that thing down onto the ground. He'll stop it with 41 seconds remaining here in the first half. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 16 from the Aviator-owned 15-yard line.
Yeah, they tried to set up the screen there, but I don't like the play call. You got to run some clock here. Now, you probably need to run the ball on this 3rd and 16, so you're not giving Lake any time left in this first half.
All right, the rumble is on here in Rock and Blue Country as a long 3rd down situation for the Aviators. They're going to fake the handoff. There goes Zerbrug, and he's going to be stuck. Looks like Sedmock stuck his nose in there.
Coach DeGeorge wisely calls timeout. Anytime you can force a team to punt inside their 20-yard line, you got to do it. A lot of things can happen.
No, wait a second. This might be this is going to be a game changer for me. We had the kicker. Dutton was the one who just stuck his nose in there and made the big tackle. Number 17, Kelton Dutton, out there playing a little defense, taking down Brendan Zerbrug. Is going to force a long 4th down. They're going to have to punt it. They're going to call it 4th and 16 from their own 15. Now 33 seconds remaining, partner. 3 timeouts remaining for Alliance. Scratch that. 1 left for Dan DeGeorge. You get a decent return. How much gas do you put down? How hard do you put your foot down on the pedal?
Let it rip.
You're going to get the ball back, start second half anyway, right?
Let it rip. I mean, they've had some close 50-50 balls already. They've been attacking our buddy there, number 27, Brady White. Isolate your best player, try to go into the boundary, throw him a comeback to get out of bounds, to get a shot at the end zone if you get a good return here, or just let it rip. But Alliance, if I'm Alliance, I try to kick this ball out of bounds. I do not want to kick the ball to the wide part of the field to Nate Baker, that's for sure. Oh, low snap.
Zerbrug gets it off, felt a little bit of pressure from Garo, and Sedmock bobbles it at the 45. I think he was able to get it back clean. He does. So he was going for the fair catch. Sedmock bobbles it on the ground. He's able to recover it. So you're going to start now from your 44-yard line.
Bluestreaks are going to begin play 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line.
Yeah, we'll see if they want to roll out here maybe. It takes a little bit of time, but, typically Deanda George likes to just nail it into half. But I expect him to try to get in scoring position here.
LPL Financial Scoreboard update, 7-7 ball game between Hoover and Buchtel with 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Smart timeout there by Coach Goodman, making sure his defense is aware of the situation. You can't take those timeouts with you into halftime. So that's a smart timeout on his part.
24 seconds remain here in the first half. High school football on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel, brought to you in part by Cackley Insurance, Eagles FOE 190, Hilsher Clark Electric Company, McNeil & Sons Tree Service, Apex Surgical, EverFi, AWP, St. Joe's Senior Living, C.H. Vallis & Associates, H&H Truck Parts, Lindsay's Pizza, and the Leathernecks Nation MC. And make sure while you're at it, I know there's a lot going on in downtown Massillon tonight, and we're going to check that scoreboard update because last we heard, it was 14-0 Valdosta.
Tigers, yeah.
So maybe it won't be as busy in downtown afterwards. I know you never know, but always check out our partner, JP Simon. Runs a lot of businesses in downtown Massillon. Simon Says Promotions, big supporter, big partner here of Stark Media Team. Check out and really patronize all of his other businesses down there. Spirit of Stark, Stark Market, Numbers of Stark, Cherry on Top Ventures, Brits Bows, and then our guys over at Ground Zero MMA. Anybody looking to get a little training in, we got the UFC gym, we got the Octagon. Check out Ground Zero MMA at 256 Erie Street. All right, Cale Jarvis feels the pressure, runs, takes off. He's at his 45, makes a move. He's at the 50. Now he's in Aviator territory at the 40, and he's still going. He's going to be brought down by Mazden at the 35-yard line. So we got 14.9 seconds remaining here in the first half. Bluestreaks up by 7-0, and they're going to roll that clock at 12. It's under 10, and Coach DeGeorge.
He doesn't have any timeouts left.
Yeah. What do we got going on here? They're going to say that was a second timeout for Alliance. Well, Alliance, did they say Alliance burned the timeout before that?
On the previous play, but no, that's the fourth timeout.
So they're showing no timeouts on the board on Jeff Durbin's score. 9.4 seconds. The clock is going to stop, but I don't know if they should have gotten that one, partner.
I think it looks like the officials are talking there in the middle of the field. They may have lost track there.
Hey, we saw a little bit of that action last night, didn't we? The officials, it's week one for them too, right?
Week one for them also. I'll tell you what here. All right, 9 seconds. The ball's on the hash. So if I'm Alliance, I want to force Lake to throw the ball to the wide side of the field with all my athletes. So I would.
C.H. Vallis and Associates halftime show. 7-0 lead for the Lake Bluestreaks. We know that they will get the ball back to start the second half. So they're going to make some adjustments, both teams, as they get in there to the locker room. First halftime of the year. I partner with those adjustments. Everybody talks about adjustments at the half. It's always kind of a tricky little deal, right?
Yep, definitely.
Mark Milano down on the sidelines. What you got, partner?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think that the Lake Bluestreaks found their running back right now in Joey Garrow. They really like this kid. They've been talking about the fact that he's been coming on. I was wondering if they were going to make a change at the quarterback position. I was watching what was happening out here, and sure enough, they did that. I think that the Bluestreaks definitely want to try to open it up here a little bit more in the second half. But I'll tell you what, when you have that fumble recovery down here and you come away empty-handed, you can't do that. They needed to get at least 3 down there, and they couldn't do that. You don't like to squander those points over here. The second half is going to be critical for Alliance. They don't have the numbers that Lake does. We're going to see if the Bluestreaks can wear them down in the second half.
Mark Milano down on the sidelines as we get things kicked off here for the C.H. Vallis and Associates halftime show. I see the legend down there on the number 1 slot for the track, Jeff Durbin, who that scoreboard is named after. Talk about some of the all-time great coaches from this area. Durbin, think about Wakefield, who just got inducted to the Stark County High School Football Hall of Fame. some great ones. We've been blessed around here. Jack Rose, Scott Garcia, and the job they're doing. I don't know if we've had a scoreboard up there.
0-0 last I saw.
All right, we're going to take a little break here. When we come back, we will fire up that LPL financial scoreboard and see if we can't make some sense out of what's going on around the area here in week 1 of Ohio high school football. Appreciate everybody rolling alongside me, Drew Sarakman and Mark Milano. We'll be back with more here in Lake Bluestreak Stadium. You're listening to high school football right here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel.
Power outages can happen at any time without warning and can leave your home powerless for days. Hilscher Clark has partnered with Generac to bring you the #1 selling home standby generator brand, engineered and built in the USA since 1959. With a home standby generator, your home will never lose power again. Generac generators activate automatically in the event of any power loss and restore power to your home within seconds. Don't leave your home unprotected. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark's residential division are experts in their profession and go above and beyond to provide you with quality, efficient service at a fair price. Starting with the estimate, they keep you informed regarding, send you email and text confirmations of your scheduled service appointment, as well as notifications when their electricians are on their way to your home. Hilscher Clark's Google reviews speak for themselves, with more than 270 reviews and 4.9 stars. And if you've just recently purchased an electric vehicle, but don't want to rely on public chargers to keep your battery full, Hilscher Clark has all the juice you can handle. Hilscher-Clark.com. That's HILSCHER-CLARKE.com. Or stop down and see them at 519 4th Street Northwest in downtown Canton. The leader in quality drivetrain components, H&H Truck Parts is a name you can trust. Located in Valley View, Ohio at 5500 South Cloverleaf Parkway, H&H can handle all your heavy-duty truck needs. Come in and exchange your transmission, differential, or power steering gearbox. But that's not all. H&H is equipped to handle all your parts needs. Permco pumps, Muncie PTOs, Neapco U-joints, Spicer yokes, new Eaton clutches, and more. Let the professionals at H&H Truck Parts handle your transmission or differential installation in one of their 6 service bays. Specializing in drivetrain repairs, stop by and have your drive shaft balanced, flywheel resurfaced, or your clutch installed alongside the best transmissions and differentials on the road. You know why they're the best? Because H&H is Ohio's largest purchaser of Eaton Fuller parts. Need a blower or a pump? H&H. Came to Stark Media for the best? Well, now you got it. Check out Lindsay's Pizza on 2827 Whipple Avenue Northwest inside of the Hillsdale Shopping Center. The preferred post-game pizza of the Stark Media team is open until 11 p.m. and it has all the essentials for game day. Pizza, chicken, salads, and sandwiches are just a click away at lindsayspizza.com. But you should trust a former Ohio State All-American and just call them right now at 330-477-3800. 477-3800. This is TJ Downing for Lindsay's Pizza, and I approve this message. The Fraternal Order of Eagles number 190 in Massillon wants you. Stop down to the Massillon ARE at 303 Wyrick Boulevard Northwest. And like our over 1,800 members experience daily, your Eagles membership will give you access to great food and drink specials. Having a party? Host it in our banquet facility and seat up to 400 people. When you're coming through downtown Massillon, stop by the Eagles and sign up. And for a small fee, you'll have access and be a part of a fraternity that donates over $100,000 a year to local charities. The Fraternal Order of Eagles ARE number 190 in downtown Massillon. Stop by or call us today at 330-832-7385.
McNeil & Sons Tree Service serves the greater Northeast Ohio area by keeping your property clear all year round. Do you have trees that have stretched too close to your home? A rotted tree that has to go? Or perhaps even storm damage? No job is too big or small for McNeil & Sons. We specialize in large tree removal, storm damage, stump grinding, land clearing, and more. McNeil & Sons Tree Service is fully licensed and insured, so contact us today at 330-606-1126 for all your tree care needs. Or visit us online at mcneiltree.com to schedule your free quote. The professionals at McNeil & Sons can inform you of your tree health and give you a risk assessment to keep your family protected. So call today, 330-606-1126. McNeil & Sons Tree Service, a company you can depend on with family you can trust.
Power outages can happen at any time, without warning, and can leave your home powerless for days. Hilscher Clark has partnered with Generac to bring you the #1 selling home standby generator brand, engineered and built in the USA since 1959. With a home standby generator, your home will never lose power again. Generac generators activate automatically in the event of any power loss and restore power to your home within seconds. Don't leave your home unprotected. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark's residential division are experts in their profession and go above and beyond to provide you with quality, efficient service at a fair price. Starting with the estimate, they also give you shorter arrival windows and send you email and text confirmations of your scheduled service appointment, as well as notifications when their electricians are on their way to your home. Hilscher Clark's Google reviews speak for themselves, with more than 270 reviews and 4.9 stars. And if you've just recently purchased an electric vehicle but don't want to rely on public chargers to keep your battery full, Hilscher Clark has all the juice you can handle for your home vehicle charging needs. Hilscher Clark is a certified Q Merit Solutions partner, making them market leaders in electrification and recommended by local dealerships. Visit them online at www.hilscher-clark.com. That's HILSCHER-CLARKE.com. Or stop down and see them at 519 4th Street Northwest in downtown Canton. Or contact Hilscher Clark today at 330-452-9806. That's 330-452-9806. Remember, it's yours only the best. Hilscher Clark Electric Company.
For nearly 100 years, St. Joseph Senior Living has provided award-winning care to families in Northeast Ohio. Visit us online at stjosephseniorliving.org.
Welcome back into the C.H. Vallis and Associates halftime show. TJ Downing, Coach Drew Sarakman, and Mark Milano down on the sidelines. 7-0 lead here inside of Bluestreak Stadium. Lake leading Alliance, and as I send it over to my partner Drew Sarakman, he's going to update you on that LPL financial scoreboard. A couple surprising ones, a couple that, I guess we kind of figured this or figured that. I know that Glen Oak was expecting, most people expect that Cincy Western Hills coming up, they don't know much about them, but when I talked to Scott Garcia, he said they're big and they're physical up front. You got to be ready for that. But that long trip, when you got to travel that, think about what Valdosta had to do, even though they came up yesterday. They trekked up from Georgia, and they're leading 14-7.
Yeah. So talk about the Glen Oak Golden Eagles at halftime. They're up 14-6 on Cincinnati Western Hills. Like TJ, like you said, Valdosta, Georgia, up 14-7 on Massillon. Massillon did just intercept the ball with a minute to go to halftime. They're about midfield. Another very surprising score here. Warren Harding up 7-6 on Canton McKinley. Louisville fighting hard against New Philly. Coach Kappas in his first game at Louisville. A lot of expectations to bring that program back. New Philly's up 21-14 on Louisville. Listen to this one. Jackson up 7-6 on Mentor at halftime. 7-6. Hoover, they're getting all they want against the Griffins from 10-40. Buchtel up 10-7 on the Hoover Vikings. We talked about it during the parade on our little preview. Northwest Indians had a lot of bodies to replace this year, and they are down at half 14-0 to Norton. Norton up 14-0 on Northwest. We knew this was going to be a good game. Canton South and St. Clairsville tied at 14. Not too far from here over in Greene. Greene is up 14-6 on Dover. Marlington, they got a new coach, Coach Cardinal over there at Marlington. After coming off a 1-9 season last year, they're up 15-8 on Warrensville Heights. Big rematch from last year Canfield and West Branch from the slobber knocker week 1 last year that West Branch was able to pull out. Canfield is up on West Branch right now, 17-6, and one of the best teams in Division 7 has come into East Canton today, and that's the Toronto Red Knights, and they're up 34-0 on East Canton. Toronto has got a quarterback offer from Oklahoma State down there.
And did you just tell me that did they just put a new field in down there?
New field, new turf. It's a beautiful facility. They're already one of the best programs in this baseball programs in the state, and they're doing a great job in football down there. You know, we had an opportunity to go play down there when I was at Aquinas a couple years ago in a playoff game.
That was a fun trip. Now, I was pulling double duty that day because I had just got done calling a Mount Union football game, and so I grabbed Mark, and I want to say GPS just kind of totally screwed me up, and I'm traveling back roads. And I'm doing like 90 so that I can get there on time.
You're traveling country roads here.
Yeah, country road. Yeah, take him home, man. I'll tell you, Mark was scared, you know, and he's a Hall of Fame driver, you know. But I was I was driving more like Dale Earnhardt. All right, real quick, let's talk some scheduling here. We know that we'll be out there with the Walsh Cavaliers, Coach Fank and them. They're middle of training camp here now. They're going to open up the season on Thursday night in that beautiful new stadium that they have over there on the campus of Walsh University. They're going to be hosting Thursday night, August 31st, 7 o'clock, tailgating and all. Coming out of the tunnel, the Walsh Cavaliers will be taking on West Liberty. All right, looking at the rest of their schedule, home schedule, September 23rd, they're going to host Thomas More. October 14th, they will have Ohio Dominican. October 21st, they'll have Findlay. November 4th, it'll be Hillsdale, and November 11th, it will be Northwood. So that is your home schedule for the Walsh Cavaliers, getting ready to take on the competition inside of the GMAC, getting ready for Division II college football and college football in general, getting ready to start here. It's coming down the pike, NFL right on the backside of that. And when you look at our schedule coming up for next week, we'll be back with our friends at Perry High School. We'll be over there as they host St. Vincent St. Mary. So look for us on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel. We'll have some new video features that we're going to be doing alongside them. And then you can catch not only Jim Bostic and Tim Budd, but Jeff Tyler and Rod Strata in week 2 as Avon will travel to McKinley and Glen Oak is going to have to head over to Massillon. So some good games coming down the line for you here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel. We'll have all those features for you. Make sure to check us out online and all the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Stark Media Team. And also we want to mention a couple of our great partners here at Stark Media. Some new ones coming on board with us, our friends over at Cackley Insurance. Make sure if you're up in the Cuyahoga Falls area, you check out my guy, Jason Cackley. We'll have more information on them as we roll through these next couple weeks. Our good friends at St. Joseph Senior Living and also AWP. And how about our guys over at Trident Restoration, just jumping on with us here the other day, and they're kind of making a name for themselves up in the Cuyahoga and Cleveland area, and they're trying to come down here and see what they can do in Stark County because they are the best. When you're looking for water, fire, any type of storm damage restoration, contact our friends over at Trident Restoration. We'll have more for you as we put out kind of our sponsor sheet when we start putting some stuff out on social media this coming week. If you go over and check out Twitter now, you can get all those LPL financial scoreboard updates. And as we get ready to fire things back up here as the Lake Bluestreak Marching Band is kind of finishing up their deal, we just saw the Alliance Aviator Band in all their glory. 3:54 remaining here for the C.H. Vallis and Associates halftime show. 7-0 lead for the Lake Bluestreaks over the Alliance Aviators. And as I talked to you before, partner, when you think about adjustments, and sometimes it's I guess it's just kind of cliche and people just like to say it, you know, adjustments, you're going to do something special at halftime. And really it's just, you know what, it's 7-0. Defense has kind of been the name of the game. A couple mistakes almost hurt the Alliance Aviators. You know, some drives early. Week 1, you know, you got a little bit of the jitters. You're trying to get everything dialed in the right way. If you're the Lake Bluestreaks and you come out here with the football to start the second half, I mean, to me, I'm one of those gas pedal guys. I kind of feel like you are too. Mm-hmm. Do you try and look for that early Nate Baker home run shot?
Yeah, I mean, they've had success attacking one side of the field. They've really been picking on, you know, the one corner for Alliance. But I think you got to give Joey Garrow the ball. If you're going to have Cale Jarvis throw the ball, you want it to be one-step stuff out of the shotgun. You know, they're out of the shotgun. just keep doing what you're doing and make Alliance make some mistakes and try to take advantage of those on offense. But really the story of this game is like we thought it was going to be. It was the Lake defense. I mean, they are all over Brennan Zerbrug every time he's dropped back to throw. Alliance has to find a way to protect him. Whether they like to have 4 wide receivers out there, but I think they've got the athletes to max protect a little bit and maybe isolate someone to the wide side of the field and put 2 receivers to the short side. You might have to bring in that extra person to protect Zerbrug here, because these pressures on 3rd down are really getting in there.
All right, public service announcement coming up here tomorrow. High-end high school football over at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, right? At 12 o'clock, you are going to have St. Ed's. They're going to take on Center Grove, state champ out of Indiana. We obviously know everything that Tom Lombardo has done up there with St. Ed's. Back-to-back state champions now. At 3 o'clock, you're going to have your Hoban Knights taking on Frederick Douglass, who has only been around in the state of Kentucky for like 6 years, and after 5 years, they won a state championship. So, you know, you've got a state championship caliber team, multiple state championship caliber teams coming in here. At the nightcap, you're going to have Glenville, who just won the first ever city champion, state champion, Cleveland Glenville, Ted Ginn Sr., everything he does, tons of talent coming back after they beat Wyoming last year. They're going to take on Dinwiddie out of Virginia. They just won the 4A state championship. So please, again, public service announcement, pack those stands.
Yeah, get
one
over
ticket, get over there. You can pay cash at the door. Whatever it is, you can get on if you go to NEOHSFB.showcase.com or go to NEO High School Football, Big High School Football on Twitter. Follow our guy, Matt Hankins. You can get tickets to go and see 6 very high-caliber high school football teams. Pack the stands. Beautiful venue. Hall of Fame Village, right next to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. It's going to be the place to be tomorrow, and we want to make sure that when we're bringing people into Stark County, teams like Dinwiddie, teams like Frederick Douglass and Center Grove from out of state, that they see these stands are packed. I believe capacity is like 25 Gs over there.
Yeah, it's close to
that. And I want to say they probably have about 15 Gs over at Massillon right now at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, a lot of people there.
And talk really quick about what you kind of did this week with your company AWP, as you guys kind of set with, we know a lot of different parking, a lot of bodies coming into Paul Brown Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, AWP Safety, we're the nation's largest traffic control safety company. We're in the business of safety, so that's our job, is to keep people safe. Whether it's people working out on the construction on the roads, or it's utility companies like AEP, Verizon, Dominion, we're out there to help. So this week, Andrew Daly, former standout at Massillon, former Penn State football player, is one of our national accounts manager. He reached out to Massillon, and we knew that they've got the construction of the new school going on over there. So we were able to partner with them to give them some assistance with the parking. This week is packed. Next week against Glen Oak is going to be a packed gate. So we just wanted to make sure everyone was safe over there, that the parking experience was smooth. And, if you're looking for a job, AWP Safety is hiring. We're hiring in a variety of different areas. If you want to be one of our protectors, our frontline traffic control flaggers, we've got great opportunities all over the country. If you know someone who lives elsewhere looking for a job, tell them to check us out. And then on the corporate side, we've got a lot of available roles as well. So if you're interested, if you need employment, check out awpsafety.com/careers.
I feel like you just kind of talked about my offensive line career right there, like protector in the job of safety, protecting quarterbacks. It's kind of my deal, man. So great job what you guys are doing over there and taking care of everybody as they kind of funnel in, dealing with a lot of different things over there. It's been a nightmare in parking over there, but they've got a lot of things getting worked out, and it's you know what? Looking for my Eagles. Get over there in week 2, do some good things. So we'll see what we got. All right, downstairs to Mark Milano.
The big bird I just saw coming out.
You saw it, man.
TJ, I love it. Yeah, I caught up with Tim Goodman as he was coming out of the locker room and asked him, I said, Coach, would you tell a team in the locker room? He said, you know what, we're playing well enough defensively. We have to pick up the pace on offense, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do. You got to think that they're going to try to get the ball in Hawkins' hands a little bit more. He was their leading receiver last year, and I'll tell you what, when he gets in space, it's going to be tough to try to beat him. But 7-0, it's anybody's game right now in the second half. And now you got to wonder, does that size and pounding that Lake's defense brings, is that going to start taking its toll on this Alliance team?
Yeah, you're right, Mark. It's going to be an interesting second half here. It kind of felt like we don't want to let the dam break if you're Alliance, in the first half. And they didn't let the dam break, so let's see what happens here.
Listen, not only do I protect people, I feed the people. No, I'm good, man. I'll be trying to make that call on that pepperoni roll. You ever see the old Chris Farley Dub Bears? I get a little pork chop logged in my artery over there. Shout out again to Brock Klein and the AD and everybody up here in the press box, feeding, having some drinks for us, all that good stuff.
Lake was dangerous in the return game last year. This is their first opportunity this year to return a kick.
All right, that's going to do it for our C.H. Vallis and Associates halftime show. Make sure to check them out on Main Street in North Canton, a staple in that community for over 75 years. C.H. Vallis and Associates. Here we go. Back in action, 7-0 lead for the Lake Bluestreaks as Baker gets it at the 5. He's at the 20. There you go, 25, 30. You just tried to call it, partner. He's out across the 40. A nice big return for Nate Baker. So some good starting field position for, I believe it will be Cale Jarvis. I think they just decided to put Noah Kabaski in there for that last play with the big live arm. As I mentioned, he's a guy on you watch this dude on the baseball field. He could potentially be a guy, okay? We got number 10 here, only a junior. He's a guy that could get drafted in a major league draft here in a couple years.
He's a big boy, too.
Big boy, live arm. We've seen a couple guys around the area that have gotten drafted. A couple Jackson pitchers have been drafted. So here we go, 7-0 lead. Kicking off the second half here are going to be Nate Baker and Cale Jarvis. After the return, starting from their 44-yard line, they'll pick up a nice 6-yard chunk out to the 50-yard line.
Yeah, first tackle of the game there for the defensive end, number 8, C.J. Daniel, 6'3", 205 senior for Alliance there. They're excited about him. So he's very athletic there on the edge, but hasn't done much tonight.
Again, appreciate our scoreboard update there throughout the half, courtesy of our friends at LPL Financial. 7-0 here. Lake Blues trying to switch in some things up. We know Apex Surgical injury update. We saw A.J. Doan bang up his left ankle in the first half. We saw Joey Garro. He was the one who kind of broke this deal open here. Made it 7-0. Had a nice couple carries for him out of the backfield. So now we're going to have running backs on both sides of the shotgun for Cale Jarvis. He's going to hand off. Nate Baker keeps his balance. Great job. Falls forward for the first down. Line to gain was at the 46 of the Aviators. He's going to make it to the 44 and get a fresh set for the offense.
This is an important drive for both teams.
What I love about Mark Milano, he just finds himself over by the cardio bike, checking in with all the dudes that are kind of working out, trying to loosen up. Great job as always by Mark Milano. He's doing a little homework down there, even though some people are the Bluestreaks back in school yet? Here we go. We're going to find out. They're trying to school the Aviators. You just see two big blocks downfield by number 35 and Anthony Miller, as Joey Garro was able to get a carry inside of the Aviator 40-yard line down to their 38. Line to gain is going to be at the 34.
Out of Lake here.
I like it. They're going a little high up tempo and getting back to the line of scrimmage quick. Now Cale Jarvis pulls it. He's got real estate. He's going to pick up a first down. He's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So good job. They had the Aviators keying in on that run, and Cale Jarvis pulls that thing, picks up a first down with 9:40 on the clock here in the third quarter. 7-0 lead for the Bluestreaks, but they're looking to tack one on.
Yeah, the defensive end there got caught with his eyes in the backfield, not reading his keys. Outside shoulder of the nearest man. That's how he's got to read it, and he did not.
Baker, he's going to go flexed out wide to the right. Inside of him will be Josh Sedmock. They're going to hand off to Joey Garro. He bobs and weaves over the left side of the line, knifing in there with Lucius Rouser and also Aiden Mosden. We know, I believe Lucius Rouser was a little bit banged up in the first half. Our Apex Surgical injury update, you can kind of see him limping back there to the huddle as they get set.
A lot of running the football here in the second half for Lake so far.
Coach DeGeorge might have some plans later on tonight. Down and 10 from the Aviator 33. Motion for Baker. They fake the jet. Jarvis keeps it right up the middle. Picks up a first and 10 for the Bluestreaks as he gets down to the EverFi red zone, smack dab at the 20-yard line. Make sure to check out everfi.com. Leaders in mental health awareness, working with a lot of NFL teams, college teams. As we know, mental health a big part of the deal, making sure everybody is safe and sound in mind. Check out everfi.com. 8:37 on the clock as it rolls here in the third quarter. The Bluestreaks' first opening possession of the second half, and they're just chewing up clock on a pretty much run solely possession. Here we go. Joey Garro following big boys up front, goes over left-hand side where Anthony Miller is. Had a couple guys pulling from the right side, little gap block on that left side, and you kind of saw watching these kids roll down the hill over there just kind of caught my attention. But, you know, we kind of talked about that type of philosophy last night a little bit. You know, if you can't move guys at the point of attack, it doesn't matter how many big boys you got pulling around. It's up to guys on that point of attack like Anthony Miller to push that guy, and you can see that the Aviators held up on that because it was only a 2-yard gain. If there was a big push on that left side, it would have been at least 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, you know, this might be a good time to bring that RPO back. You know, these linebackers are really starting to bite on the run now. Maybe you hit Nate Baker on the little slant RPO.
Baker's going to go wide out to the right. We'll see what they do. They're going to send motion, fake it to Sedmock. Jarvis keeps it up the middle, and he's going to be tracked down by Aiden Mosden and also number 33 of the defense, Adam Zumbar.
Yeah, over there, they are still rolling down the hill. Reminds me of the old hill at Fawcett Stadium.
That's where I used to take my dates.
Yeah.
Back in high school. We go take it to the hill, man. We're taking the hill at noon. We're taking the hill right here. The Lake Bluestreaks are trying to take it at the 17-yard line, rolling downhill on the Aviators. Again, just chewing clock after this ball snapped on his 3rd and 8. We're under 7 to go in the third quarter. Baker's wide out to the right. Receiver inside of him, a receiver over to the short side left.
They've
and
got
Cale
the corner
Jarvis
route open.
Rolling right, back of the end zone, incomplete.
Oh.
He had him looking
Way too
for
late.
Sedmock.
Way too late. They pressed the safety on that inside receiver. They pressed on the outside, so they've got that smash route there where the outside receiver runs the hitch, the inside receiver runs the corner route. Great route. He just wasn't able to deliver that ball on time. If he throws it right out of his break, he's wide open for a touchdown. So another missed opportunity for Lake there in the red zone.
So we're going to see Dutton come on, and he's going to attempt a 34-yard field goal. Missed his first attempt, which was a 24-yarder. Check that. We'll call this a 35-yard attempt. Again, it's going to be coming in from the left hash as it was earlier. Ball's back. It's down. It's up. And this one is no good. Boy, I'll tell you what. He's going to push that one left.
Wow.
So, again, Aviators able to hold and keep this thing at 7-0.
And you know, like we said before, Alliance with the athletes they're one missed tackle away from taking one to the house, and Lake just can't put them away. I think you got to find a way to get the ball into Ramir Hawkins' hands because what was that? They were over there scrimmaging Hoover, right? And they got that little one right in their little bubble screen over to Ramir Hawkins. Make one guy miss, and you can take it to the house. Lake's
anytime.
doing a good job. Lake's got speed on the outside, so they're doing a good job of pressing here. But now Kelton Dutton's coming in at corner where he wasn't playing before, and this is a mismatch down here.
After this play, we'll take it downstairs to Mark Milano. 6:44 on the clock here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 play from the 20-yard line for Brendan Zerbrug. Spins out of one, and there he goes.
We said, one missed tackle
He's going to take
away.
this thing to the house. Brendan Zerbrug, he's at the 30, 20. Nobody's catching him. 10-5, house call. 80-yard touchdown for Brendan Zerbrug. Right up the middle of the defense, and similar to what Joey Garro did. A little spin move. Didn't have to put his hand down because that's a big body out there, but that spin move and that speed burst makes it 7-6. And let's take it downstairs. Mark Milano, he just saw the whole thing unfold. We'll see if we can get his attention. I know he is. He's drawn in. What do you got, Mark?
Guys, I just had a great conversation with Evan Brady and Charlie Christopher. What two great guys. And I'll tell you what, they look like they were cut out of the same mold. Well put together, spent a ton of time in the weight room. talked to them a little bit about what they're going to wind up doing, and I asked Charlie, what's it going to look like for college, because he told me he's gone down to Miami, Bowling Green. The MAC schools have gotten him. I think Ball State has offered him to. Hasn't made any.
Pull that thing right, so it's going to stay 7-6, and man, that is huge. But do you attribute a little bit of that to how much gas you just put out of the tank on an 80-yard jaunt?
Yeah, absolutely. That's got to be
Legs
tough.
are a little tired.
Yeah, but just like we were saying, Lake's inability to finish drives here, has put them in a bad spot, because they should be up right now, maybe 13 points, maybe more, But now Alliance is down 1 point in this game. This is a ball game.
We got a ball game on our hands. Boy, 7-6 lead now. Sending that over to you here right now, partner. Lake, wow. And kind of bad timing for Mark Milano there, because he's talking about Evan Brady and Charlie Christopher, and he just got smoked by the QB. He did. Oh, Coach Dan DeGeorge might not give you that post-game interview now.
And now Brendan Zerbrugg kicks off. Do not kick it in the middle of the field. Do not kick it in the middle of the field.
6:31 on the clock in the third quarter. 7-6 lead for the Lake Blue Streaks, and here we go. Return for Nate Baker. He's at the 20, makes the 25, cuts a little move up across the 30. You'll see some flags come flying in.
Yeah, I think we've got a block below the waist, or a block in the back there on Lake. So they're actually going to have their worst field position of the night inside of their own 20, it looks like. But Nate Baker, another great return.
So that's going to push the Blue Streaks back a little bit as you hear that call that there was holding on them. And now I think the big job really is up front for the Lake Blue Streak offensive line. You look at Gavin Zachary, the 240-pounder. Miller, big Anthony Miller, committed to Air Force at 285 pounds. Cohen Stahl, 276-pound junior. Braden Miller, and also Christian Kaler. So it's up to these guys now as we see Sedmock come in there for the huddle. You got to put a drive together here after what Zerbrugg was just able to do, and you've missed now 2 field goals. Dutton not able to get that extra 6 points on the board. Not able to take advantage of the opportunity before the half with the Ramir Hawkins fumble.
Yep.
This is where you rely on your offensive line now. You play smash mouth football. Eat this clock up like you already did.
Different look defensively here now. They've
Jarvis
got more athletes on the outside.
Fires it into the hands. I believe that was Sedmock.
I'll tell you what. So what Alliance has done now, they've got
Sedmock on a reception.
They've got Ramir Hawkins in at corner with opposite of J.R. Jackson. So earlier in the game, Lake was really picking on Brady White. They've now moved him off of the corner position, and they've got Ramir Hawkins out there to give them a little bit more athletes, and they are pressing those outside receivers now.
He's going to be manned up on Josh Sedmock to the short side field right. Twins wide side left for Cale Jarvis. Ball's blown dead. Flag comes flying out. 6:17 on the clock in the third quarter. Lake leading Alliance 7-6. High School Football on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel, presented by Eagles FOE 190 in downtown Massillon and Hilscher Clark Electric Company. Make sure to check out Hilscher Clark Electric Company in downtown Canton, and also the Eagles FOE 190 at 303 Wyrick Boulevard in downtown Massillon.
Yeah, I didn't really see anyone. They must have lined up offsides there, Alliance. I didn't really see anyone
Sedmock on that reception from Jarvis had made it a 2nd and 2, and that 5 extra yards right there is going to push the Blue Streaks out to their 32-yard line.
They took that hitch away.
10. Here comes Cale Jarvis, bottled up, gets hit by number 20 on the defense, dropped right back at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a yard. That's Carter Fast in there for the tackle.
And that's a great example of a halftime adjustment made by the Alliance Aviators. They move Ramir Hawkins over to the short side of the field corner where Lake has been throwing hitches all game. They go to try to throw the hitch there. He sits on it all over it. The defense rallies and gets the sack.
So they do things at halftime. Yeah. I was just looking for a Snickers bar and a Gatorade. Here we go, 2nd and 10 from their 32-yard line. Blue Streaks, handoff. Here goes the big fella.
Hard running.
Rolling around the right-hand side. New runner for the Blue Streaks. That's number 15, Caden Yoder, the senior, 170-pounder. First carry we've seen from him today.
There's Yoders in Hartville?
There sure are, man. Tell you what, Hartville Market. These guys have done a phenomenal job over there. 17, you see Dutton. He's checked in now as one of your receivers.
Looks like the Alliance Aviators front is sucking a little bit of wind right now.
Marsden,
A lot of guys going both ways up there.
Caden Straight, Lucius Rouser, C.J. Daniel. That front four for Coach Goodman that Drew just talked about. Those guys have to find a way to get some pressure here on a 3rd and medium. Handoff. There he goes, Yoder. Caden Yoder going to get to the sticks, falls forward, 1 yard pass the line to gain at the 42, gets it to the Bluestreak 43, and a fresh set of downs for Lake.
If I'm Tim Goodman, I'm thinking about a timeout right now. Sometimes you don't want to waste them.
Yeah.
But there's 4 minutes to go in the third. This is a pivotal possession. You've got guys that have been out there running up and down the field because of long runs. Now they're out there. Maybe you got to give the big guys a blow sometimes. That's a valuable timeout to use.
It is. That last series, they just chewed up clock. Now they're doing it again. 4:07 on the clock. It'll be under 4 minutes to go here after this ball is snapped. 1st and 10 for the Blue Streaks from their own 44-yard line, leading 7-6.
That corner route's
Quarterback
open
Jarvis
again.
rolling out to the right. Feels the pressure from Daniels. He steps back and finds Baker in Aviator territory. 1st down for the Blue Streaks, down to the 42-yard line of Alliance.
And Nate Baker's Alliance coaches at the end of that play weren't real happy. They think Lake had number 53 about 5-6 yards downfield, but the officials didn't see it. You ever trot down the field a little further than you were supposed to there?
We had a technique. You know what you do? You act like the sniper in the bell tower just hit you, and you just act like you trip and fall down. You know, so you got to kind of feel it. I believe what is the we'll call it standard deviation is like 3 yards either
they
side
say
of the line of
it's
scrimmage.
2 or 3.
Yeah, so it's and it's hard, like you mentioned, with the pocket moving, and Jarvis. I think they're trying to keep their eyes on him to make sure that he's not crossing the line of scrimmage. And he stepped back, avoided what you called with C.J. Daniels and the pressure. His lineman, can't remember who it was. I believe it might have been Stahl at the right tackle spot. Was able to push him away, and Jarvis stepped back. So I think the eyeballs were just in the wrong place for the officials. And again, you talked about earlier. Last night, today, this is still the first game for the officials, first week getting them back into the groove. And I know we put a lot of pressure on them, but you got to let them get into their season as well, too. So may have missed one here, but the drive continues as Joey Garro gets another carry. He'll be wrapped up from behind after picking up 3. So nice falling forward for number 4 as we hit the 3-minute mark in the third quarter. Blue Streaks up by a point, 7-6.
Yeah, that was a much-needed little timeout there, I think, for Alliance.
And you mentioned making some substitutions across that defensive line. Those guys are sucking wind. Malachi Thomas Allen comes in.
We got a 5-man front here, and they're just going straight man-to-man.
Evan
Alliance.
Grandy has come into the ball game, too. So he's going to shed the defensive tackle, and there goes Garro. He's making
There's
real
no
estate,
safety.
25-20. Looking for the 10-5, stretching for the end zone in the pylon.
I think he fumbled.
Oh, they're going to say.
I think
Let's
that ball
see.
is out. If they
No
mark
call
him
yet.
down, that's a fumble.
I think they're going to
Because
say
the ball
one
came
official
out.
has him at the 2. They do. They mark him out at the 2.
Well, I think Lake got lucky there. He went to reach the ball, and it came out of his hand, went and hit the pylon, and went out of bounds.
Joey Garro. He's been flexing his muscle here in this game right now.
Something went wrong there for Alliance. They brought the extra personnel on the defensive line. It's like they were playing a 5-3 with no safety.
They brought in Kevin Frazier, ran it over top of him and C.J. Daniel. They've got Marsden playing the interior over the nose. They're going to run with that 5-man line again, and we're second from the 2-yard line. 1st and goal to go. Handoff Garro. He's going to be hit at the 2, so no gain, and that is Malachi Thomas on first effort.
A little bit disappointed. in this
Garro's
Lake.
down on the ground, too.
Yeah, he's been cramping up earlier, too. A little disappointed with this Lake offensive line, the lack of push they're able to get for their size.
Especially after that. I mean, you know, you're juiced up after having a big run by Garro, and you get down there. It's like, okay, kind of disappointing if you can't figure out a way to punch that thing in. Oh, I think I might have made a little mistake here on the 17-7 lead on our LPL financial scoreboard for Hoover over Buchtel. May have read that wrong there on some of our updates. We'll take a time out here as Joey Garro is down on the field. You're listening to high school football here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel.
The leader in quality drivetrain components, H&H Truck Parts is a name you can trust. Located in Valley View, Ohio at 5500 South Cloverleaf Parkway, H&H can handle all your heavy-duty truck needs. Come in and exchange your transmission, differential, or power steering gearbox. But that's not all. H&H is equipped to handle all your parts needs. Permco pumps, Muncie PTOs, Neapco U-joints, Spicer yokes, new Eaton clutches, and more. Let the professionals at H&H Truck Parts handle your transmission or differential installation in one of their 6 service bays. Specializing in drivetrain repairs, stop by and have your drive shaft balanced, flywheel resurfaced, or your clutch installed alongside the best transmissions and differentials on the road. You know why they're the best? Because H&H is Ohio's largest purchaser of Eaton Fuller parts. Need a blower or a pump? H&H distributes Paragon and Permco brands. Names you can trust with your livelihood on the road. Call H&H Truck Parts today for the leader in heavy-duty truck parts and service. Call locally at 216-642-4540. Toll free at 800-601-4540 or check them out online at
Welcome back in on the Stark Media
HHTruckParts.com.
Team YouTube channel. TJ Downing, Drew Sarakman, Mark Milano. Happy to have you rolling alongside us here on opening weekend of Ohio high school football. And second down and 2, goal to go. And the ball's on the ground. Cale Jarvis fumbles it, and we'll see who comes up off the bottom. I believe it's number 51, Malachi. Oh, that's a huge one. Malachi Thomas Allen gets the fumble recovery, and Brendan Zerbrug and company are going to get the ball back at their own 4-yard line, trailing by a point with 2:21 remaining here in the third quarter. And what do we always talk about, partner? I know you're a former offensive coordinator, head coach. Ball security. You got to hold on to my football, especially when you're down there.
Yeah, 2 big turnovers tonight for Lake, and you know, ball security is job security. That's what I used to tell the players. You want to put that football on the ground, not take care of it.
Yeah, those are ones that get you sat down on the bench. So Malachi Thomas Allen gets it back for the Aviators. Here goes Brendan Zerbrug. See if he can use a little bit of that magic he did before. There's a first down chain mover.
Brendan Zerbrug for about 100 yards there, 95, 100 yards total.
And for the most part, it was kind of bottled up in the first half.
Absolutely. I'd like to see Alliance take a shot. They're pressing on the short side. Take a shot downfield.
Guy's committed to Oklahoma. I know he can throw it. We're going to let him run it here. He's going to go over the left-hand side. Flags down 30. He's out across the 34.
I don't like that.
Going to come back.
You know, these offensive linemen are battling to get down the line. They've got their hands on the inside, their heads in front, but as soon as that defender starts going, you know, your arms are going to go with them when you're attached, right, TJ?
Yeah.
It's so hard just to let go in that time, and it's behind the play. That did not impact the play at all.
You know what you almost kind of do, a technique that we would utilize, you always hear about a dip and rip for a defensive lineman. You kind of got to do the same thing as an offensive lineman when you're going left, kind of rip that thing through there. And I don't think you're going to get called, but you got to be able to get your head across, and unfortunately that's going to negate a big run for the quarterback, Brendan Zerbrug. That's going to push the Aviators back to their 12-yard line. It's going to set up a 1st and 20 from the 12. Zerbrug trips right, wide side right, single receiver, short side left. Now he's sitting in the pocket. He's going to look for that screen. He's going to be taken down at the 1-yard line. Number 22 for the Bluestreaks in there, Joseph Esposito.
Got personal foul on Kelton Dutton. Or 84, actually. Sorry, I apologize to Kelton Dutton. I already put the Maloik on him as a kicker.
I was going to say, kickers don't get those.
Yeah, it's going to be another player.
Not good, though, man. I'll tell you what, that's something right there. And you can see Coach DeGeorge is chewing in the ear of number 84.
So they were going to be on the 1-yard line. Now they're going to be out on the 16. I mean, that's a huge difference.
Big mistake there. Coach DeGeorge letting them know about it. Boy, they had
2 of them.
They had Alliance in a very, very compromising position.
They've got 2 unsportsmanlike on Lake.
Wow. $1:40 remaining here in the third quarter. TJ Downing, Drew Sarakman, and Mark Milano rolling alongside you here on opening weekend of Ohio high school football, presented right here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel by Hilscher Clark Electric Company and the Eagles FOE 190. And now you see Coach DeGeorge chewing on the ears of the officials.
Personally, I think if there's 2 personal fouls by 2 different players, they both should be assessed.
Hold
people
no doubt.
accountable for their actions.
Exactly. They're only going to get 1. That's going to push the Aviators out across their 15. We'll call it their 16. Going to be a 2nd and 15 Buck 16 remaining in the third. There we see Zerbrug. Fires one to Davis. He's at midfield. We'll see if he makes a move. He does. He's at the 30. I don't know if they're going to get him. He spins out of another. Stiff arm at the 15 and out of bounds at the 11. What a pass. What a catch. And the yak for Kayvon Davis. You talk about quick field change, and there it is, partner. They're smack dab inside the EverFi red zone, down at the Bluestreak 11-yard line. Kayvon Davis for 6'3", 200 pounds, showing the juice.
I'll tell you, a 5-foot window to put that pass behind the ear hole of the linebacker, maybe smaller, and where the safety was. And Brendan Zerbrug just lasered that hard
That's a power
post
5
in.
pass right there, partner.
Absolutely.
Working from their right hash. Twins left, Ramir Hawkins in the slot, Twins to the right, short side. They're going to motion Zumbar left to right, and Zerbrug
Be able to throw those short passes. And when you shorten the field here, they've got some big bodies at receivers.
Love seeing that pass. Taking the handcuffs off of the Division I recruit. And you kind of think real quick, Drew, as we get ready to head to the fourth quarter, you know, about the pass that he was able to complete to Ramir Hawkins for the touchdown when they scrimmaged against Hoover. This is the same type of field position. So we'll talk about it when we come back. 7-6 lead for the Lake Blue Streaks, but the Aviators are knocking on the door as we head to four fingers in the air here inside of Lake Blue Streak Stadium. You're listening to high school football opening weekend right here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel.
McNeil & Sons Tree Service serves the greater Northeast Ohio area by keeping your property clear all year round. Do you have trees that have stretched too close to your home? A rotted tree that has to go? Or perhaps even storm damage? No job is too big or small for McNeil & Sons. We specialize in large tree removal, storm damage, stump grinding, land clearing, and more. McNeil & Sons Tree Service is fully licensed and insured, so contact us today at 330-606-1126 for all your tree care needs. Or visit us online at mcneiltree.com to schedule your free quote. The professionals at McNeil & Sons can inform you of your tree health and give you a risk assessment to keep your family protected. So call today, 330-606-1126. McNeil & Sons Tree Service, a company you can depend on with family you can.
All right, back here inside of Rock'em Blue Country, TJ Downing, Drew Sarakman, Mark Milano rolling with you here on the LPL Financial Scoreboard. 17-7 now, check it, 27 lead, 20-7 lead for Hoover over Bookdale right here at 7-6, Lake over Alliance, but the Aviators knocking on the door, a 2nd and 14, and they're going to hand off on a jet sweep to Ramir Hawkins, finds the 15, cuts up. They'll probably give him, they'll give him the 14, didn't get to the 14, so we're going to have a 3rd down and 14 coming up. Line to gain is at the 2-yard line.
You know, after watching Brendan Zerbrug's last kick, you know, you may only have one more possession the way this game is, maybe 2. I think you're either throwing it into the end zone here or you're trying to get the ball in the middle of the field for a field goal.
Zerbrug in the shotgun. He's going to roll out to the right, gets a little help from his receiver. In the back of the end zone, touchdown, Ramir Hawkins. He did in that scrimmage over there at Hoover, finds him in the middle of the end zone, and the Aviators kind of laying in the weeds the entire first half. They've come out here now. It's 12-7 lead.
Gotta go for 2.
Doesn't look like, he's going to say, Zerbrug just gave number 10 to T and said, no. Take that back. We're going for 2 here. Wow, Ramir Hawkins with the snag. I'll tell you what, Ramir Hawkins, one of my favorite receivers around the county.
He was all hands on that one.
Find that window, find that spot,
I'll tell you what,
down.
Coach DeGeorge has got to be thinking play clock here. I mean, they got to be close to delay.
11-14 on the clock
Hands
here.
Hands up.
Zerbrug,
3, 2.
the end zone, incomplete. So nothing cooking there for the Aviators as Jared Jackson tried to throw a pass.
Yeah, Ramir Hawkins zigged when he should have zagged there in the end zone.
So this thing is going to stay 12-7. Unbelievable. What a drive by the Aviators. You think about what happened there to start that, Drew. I mean, you had Zerbrug sacked, Should have been back at the 2-yard line. You get the unsportsmanlike. Man, lot to unpack here on these last couple drives.
Yeah, that penalty.
All right, here we go. LPL Financial
you.
scoreboard. 14-all, Valdosta Maslin. 21-6, Glen Oak over Western Hills. 21-14, McKinley over Warren Harding. 14-6, Green over Dover. Mentor's up 12-7 over Jackson, and it's 20-7. Hoover over Bookdale right here. It's 12-7. Alliance over Lake. Make sure to check in with my guy, Manny Patterson. 330-244-9779 out there on Munson Boulevard in Belden Village for all your financial needs. Grow your wealth with my guy, Manuel Patterson, and LPL Financial.
All right, big possession here.
Some moxie there from old boy Brendan Zerbrug. And when you and I were just kind of talking like, okay, you're letting him run, you're making him run. He's got a big run, but like, this dude's a Power 5 guy. Let's see him pass the ball. 2 huge passes late in this game here, midway through the second half for Brendan Zerbrug. We'll see what kind of answer the Blue Streaks have. They're going to return the ball out across the 30 to their 33-yard line, so good starting field position for Cale Jarvis. We'll see what he can do with it. Dutton's going to come out there at receiver. You're going to have Joey Garrow running the rock. Foudy Kuntz, he's out there as well. This is where
Ramir Hawkins is not on the field for defense now. You know, putting him out there on the last possession made a big difference. Let's see if Lake tries to get Nate Baker the ball here.
Bo Davis playing center field for the Aviators.
Nate Baker's off the ball, which means a lot of times that he's going to go in motion.
Ryan Anderson's going to go into the slot right. They're going to take Baker. Give him the jet. There he goes, cutting up, runs right into a defender. I believe that's Jackson Eddy. Jackson Eddy waiting for him.
He's been all over the field tonight. He's got to have double-digit tackles by now.
Great player for Coach Tim Goodman, specializing on the defensive side of the ball, and you'll see Garrow check out. And here comes number 22, Joseph Esposito. I believe Esposito was one of those guys that got the personal foul. So you said it was 2 guys, and he was one of them in there. So that was kind of a game changer here thus far. When you talk about penalties in a football game, can't have them. Got to stay disciplined. We'll check in with Mark Milano after this play. 2nd and 9 from the Blue Streaks' own 34, trailing by 5. Pass way over the head of Baker, but he's able to track it. There he goes, 45, 50, making spin moves into Aviator territory down to the 45. And the adjustment you talked about. Wow.
You know, they pull Ramir Hawkins out. I don't think you can take him out of the ball game. You have to leave him in at corner because the other corners that you have in there don't have the speed. So what they're doing is they're playing 7 yards off of Nate Baker. They throw the right now screen to him. Not even a great pass, but since the corner is so far off, he has the ability to catch the ball and take it for 20 yards.
See what Jarvis does here now. He's got Esposito on his right hip. Baker's down to the left. Handoff, Esposito. There he goes to the 40. Nope, they're going to stop him shy. Zumbar able to push him out of bounds. Check that number 20 in there. That was the young man Carter Fast who gets him after a 5-yard pickup. So good job there by Esposito. Going to set up a 2nd and 5 from the Aviator 41-yard line. 9:55 remaining in the ball game. 12-7 lead for the Aviators.
Looks like they got an Alliance Aviator down on the far side of the field getting cramped up. I think that's our buddy 76, who's played a phenomenal game on the defensive side of the ball. That's big.
Lucius Rouser.
Lucius Rouser, yeah.
All right, you're going to get a timeout called by the Lake Blue Streak, so we'll step aside and take a timeout as well. 12-7 lead for the Aviators.
For nearly 100 years, St. Joseph Senior Living has provided award-winning care to families in Northeast Ohio. Located at 2308 Reno Drive in Louisville, St. Joseph Senior Living and the Alsatian have a variety of services to assist your loved ones. To schedule a tour or gain more information, call us at 330-875-5562 or visit us online at stjosephseniorliving.org.
The Fraternal Order of Eagles number 190 in Massillon wants you. Stop down to the Massillon ARE at 303 Wyrick Boulevard Northwest. And like our over 1,800 members experience daily, your Eagles membership will give you access to great food and drink specials. Having a party? Host it in our banquet facility and seat up to 400 people. When you're coming through downtown Massillon, stop by the Eagles and sign up. And for a small fee, you'll have access and be a part of a fraternity that donates over $100,000 a year to local charities. The Fraternal Order of Eagles ARE number 190 in downtown Massillon. Stop by or call us today at 330-832-7380.
TJ Downing, Drew Sarakman, Mark Milano rocking and rolling here. Fourth quarter of opening weekend. Joey Esposito is going to be tracked down by Aiden Mazden. He's refusing to go down. Finally gets a little assistance from Fast. Tact was number 55, but Mazden able to try and swing him down, held him up long enough to be able to get Fast in there to take him all the way down.
Yeah, that's a big stop. Putting them back behind the chains now on this long third down by the Alliance defense.
Make sure if you get a chance, go over and check out our Stark Media Team social medias at Stark Media Team. Got a great video from our guy Mark Milano down on the sidelines from the Brendan Zerbrug to Ramir Hawkins touchdown that gave the Aviators the lead here just a minute ago. Go check it out. We'll continue to update you on some stuff. Give us a like, follow, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Here we go, third and long. Cale Jarvis at midfield, firing it downfield. Let's see what happens. Oh, great coverage. Number 17 back there working. I believe was that to Baker? That looked like they were trying to get it to Baker, but number 17, Ravon Hawkins. Great pass breakup. We've seen a couple. The other one that sticks out was the one down here where they tried to find Baker.
A little underthrown
there. Number 27, Brady White, was able to do that. So, yeah, you think about that heat check, and maybe that was a reason why you tried to bring in Noah Kabaski, because you like what he might be able to do a little bit better when he's uncorking it. But now you're going to be faced with a fourth down from your own, or check that from the Aviator, 44-yard line.
If I'm Alliance, I watch here. This is big. This is big time fake punt.
They're in safe protection or safe mode. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
territory.
6 guys on the Aviator punt return team.
And I think they need to scoot back. I think they're a little too shallow there at the return.
No rush. Dutton gets it off his foot. Ramir Hawkins is going to let it bounce. We'll see if it checks up. Oh, it goes into the back of the end zone. I don't think they'll get it, so it's going to come out to the 20 for Brendan Zerbrug. And, okay, here we go, partner. This is where you talk about – I want to say the score was 41-14-ish last year.
41-14 last year.
Okay. This is an opportunity right here for Brendan Zerbrug to show everybody why he's committed to Oklahoma.
Yeah,
he showed it last series. Okay, don't get me wrong.
It takes 11.
Yeah.
It takes 11, but he's taking this game over.
Putting that foot on the throat right here. Yep. This is what gets you excited.
Yeah, this is a huge drive. If Lake allows Alliance to burn this clock out and only gives them one possession left, it's going to be tough. You need to save possessions here if you're Lake, who hasn't been great on offense tonight.
All right, Brendan Zerbrug from his 20-yard line sends Ramir Hawkins on the jet, fakes it to him. Zerbrug's going to keep it, makes the 21, but you're going to have a flag come in.
Again, they're calling these holding penalties behind the play. Zerbrug is past the man, and they're calling it. I mean, a little home cooking here for Lake tonight. A little home Hartville kitchen cooking.
Ooh, man. You got me excited last night talking about Lindsay's. You're over here calling your wife, telling her, hey, place the order before it gets to 11 o'clock because we're sitting there on a lightning delay till about 10:30. Tell you what, Hartville Kitchen sounds pretty good right about now. A little bit of meatloaf, mashed potatoes right here. This is where the big boys, the steak and potato eaters up front, and I get it. You just put yourself in a 1st and 20. Not what you want to do to start this possession out when we're talking about putting your foot on the throat of a defense. We're going to see what Zerbrug and company can do with 8 minutes remaining in the ball game, up by 5. Little bubble out to number 17. He's going to get it. Little flare pass out. He's going to get it to the 10-yard line, up across. We'll call it a 2-yard pickup out to the 12-yard line.
All right. So this has always been my philosophy. On 2nd and long, backed up, you like to throw it on 2nd down because they know you're going to throw it on 3rd down. I'd rather take my shot down the field to try to get it back on 2nd down, and then, if we're still in a situation, run it on 3rd down. But I would love to see them take a matchup, find a matchup they like, and just let it rip and let one of those athletes run down the field.
got looked like we had, not sure if we had somebody.
Officials timeout there. Lake had a player coming off the field there.
You can always set your watch to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
First week, second week, dudes are going to be cramping up.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they're going to call a timeout down on the field. So we'll step aside and take a timeout as well. You're listening to High School Football right here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel. Get a little bit of that 7 minutes left to go, an opening weekend beat coming through the microphone for you right there. TJ Downing, Drew Sarakman, Mark Milano, happy to be rolling alongside you here on opening weekend of Ohio High School football right here in one of the best counties of them all, Stark County. 7-11 left to go here in the ball game, 12-7 lead for Zerbrugg and company, trying to work out of the back of their end zone. Ramir Hawkins gets a catch back up to the line of scrimmage at the 12-yard line. Nothing going. Going to be a 3rd and 18 when they get back up to the line.
All right, now if I'm Alliance here, you're in 3rd and 18. Likely not to pick it up. A very simple, quick pass or run the football because the clock is Lake's enemy right now. So if you can work off another minute and a half here before you have to punt it, that would be great for Alliance. We got a LPL financial scoreboard update. It's Canton McKinley 21, Warren Harding 14.
Ooh, some great games going on around the area. Zerbrugg on 3rd down, fires it through the middle, lays a seed in there to his receiver. Dangerous pass. It is completed to Ramir Hawkins, but not enough for a 1st down, not even enough to get back to the original line of scrimmage set at the 20. They make the 19, and here comes 4th down with 6:21 remaining in the ball game. Cale Jarvis and company are going to get the ball back with a chance to roll downfield and take the lead, trailing by 5. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining.
Don't kick the ball to Nate Baker. Been saying it all night. Don't kick the ball to Nate Baker.
You have one job, Zerbrugg.
Yeah.
Don't kick it to Baker.
Oh, bounce the snap back there.
He smokes a missile all the way back to Bluestreak territory. Now Baker has it. He's at the 45, cuts up to the 40 of the Aviators.
They got
so
lucky there.
You talk about great starting field position. This is it right here with 6:10 remaining in the ball game. Cale Jarvis going to come out, set up in Bluestreak territory.
Quick story for you, not kicking to certain people. Your former coach, Jim Tressel, tells St. Thomas alum Jonathan Toma, who is the punter for Ohio State in the Rose Bowl, do not kick it to Kenyon Barner. While it was a bad snap, Toma kicks it sky high in the air. Kenyon Barner takes it to the house. He walks off the field, and Tress is there and says, "That's not what we wanted, Jonathan."
Oh, Jonathan Toma. Boy, we had some punters down there, man. All right. Pass completed from Jarvis.
Now they're going to call it incomplete.
They're going to call that incomplete. Looked like number 8 was able to make a nice adjustment on it. That was Ryan Anderson. So 2nd and 10 coming up from the Aviator 40-yard line. Alliance up 12-7. Following this, we're going to have our Miracle Motors 42 post-game show where we will name our Hilscher Clark Electric Company Electric Player of the Game.
Do you feel like Lake maybe abandoned the run too soon here? They were starting to churn it out at the end of the first half.
I liked what they were doing
half.
with Joey Garro. I really liked what they were doing with Joey. Joey's not in the game right now. Cale Jarvis in the shotgun, fakes it to Esposito, and he's going to fire a pass incomplete to number 9, Fauci Kuntz.
Yeah, and now, hey, look who's back in the game at corner. They try to throw the hitch, and there's no room to throw it. Ramir Hawkins.
Ramir's got a little juice underneath him right now, man, after catching that go-ahead touchdown. Hey, think about that. One of the things I think you and I appreciate most about the game of football is the opportunity to overcome, kind of redeem yourself. Ramir Hawkins almost put his team in a really bad situation when he fumbled that ball on the kickoff. And now he comes back, makes that touchdown grab. Now he's out here on defense trying to go against Foudy Kuntz, who we know Cale Jarvis is going to look that left direction because they got Baker in the slot.
They like screen and draw out of this formation sometimes.
Baker faked the jet.
There's the screen.
Here we go. Joey Garrow gets a screen. Anthony Miller downfield.
Not going to be enough. Big decision here for Coach DeGeorge. Under 6 minutes to go. It's going to bring up 4th and 3.
4th and 3 from the Aviator, 32-yard line.
If I'm Coach DeGeorge, I go for a hard count. But if they don't jump, you give that ball to Joey Garrow. Say, go get. It looks like it's close to 2 yards. 2 yards.
Timeout called by your Bluestreaks.
Might see them do the 2 sidecars there. Maybe put Joey Garrow or Nate Baker back. Although Nate Baker's cramping right now, so he's probably not getting the ball right now. He's on the ground cramping. Or Nate Baker is. Yep.
You know, you got to just at times, you know, as a coach, you got to have your pulse on the team. I think, as you mentioned, maybe went away from that Joey Garrow run a little bit too quick. You know, they were really running heavy, running hard downhill on the Aviators, and they were gassed up front. And now with 5:27 remaining in the ball game, Lake's going to have 1 timeout remaining. Alliance has 2. Alliance leading 12-7. Shout out to everybody rocking alongside us here on opening weekend on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel. Make sure while you're there, give us a subscribe. Smash that subscribe button, so they say. And also go over and check us out on our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Great video up there by Mark Milano of the go-ahead touchdown from Zerbrugge to Hawkins. Go over there, give us a like, follow, share. And remember, patronize our partners here at Stark Media. Starts with the Eagles FOE 190 and Hilsher Clark Electric Company, McNeil & Sons Tree Service, Lindsay's Pizza, H&H Truck Parts, C.H. Vallis & Associates, St. Joe's Senior Living, AWP, and Cackley Insurance. Here we go. Big 4th down for Cale Jarvis and the offense. Shotgun, fakes it to Joey. No, they give it to Joey, and he's not going to get it. Fumbles on the ground. It's picked up by a big old lineman, and I don't think they've got enough for it.
You know,
67.
I think Joey Garrow is going to get that 1st down, but there wasn't a clean handoff between him and Cale Jarvis. That's why Cale Jarvis is upset right now. So Joey Garrow kind of had to slow down.
You had another moving part that came in front too, right?
Yep, and not a clean handoff and a huge stop for Alliance.
Cohen Stahl was able to get the fumble recovery, one of my trench life warriors out there, but not enough here. And now Zerbrugge, he's got a chance with 5:18 remaining in the ball game to put the old tap, 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 nail in the coffin here inside of Lake Bluestreak Stadium. He's going to try to run it. He was looking for the pitch out to Ravon Hawkins, wisely keeps it as the defensive end came knifing in. So 2nd down, but they're going to lose yards here. It's going to be 2nd down, 14 to go from their own 30-yard line.
The clock is running. As a coach here, this is a huge spot because there's 5 minutes to go. Do you want to flip the field position and try to end the game, or do you just try to be conservative and run clock and hopefully run your offense and churn out a 1st down? Me, I like to be a little bit more aggressive and try to put my playmakers in a position to make a big play. We'll see what Coach Tim Goodman wants to do here.
Zerbrugge, 3 receivers wide to the right. He's going to roll out to the right. He's got a receiver wide downfield. Now he's going to take off and run. He's going to get to 30. Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, partner, I kind of noticed at the end of that last play, Zerbrugge took a shot. Lower body, he's kind of looking a little ginger.
Yeah, he's hobbly. He's hobbly right now. And that's not what you want for the Alliance Aviators. I think
it's the right ankle. I'm kind of seeing how he's jogging a little bit. You see him, he's bent over there right now at the 20. So 3rd and 11 coming up for the Aviators.
And I'm telling you right now, Lake is going to bring the house on this down. This is what they do. They get you in 3rd and long, and they bring the blitzes. They bring variety of people off the edge. One person who's been kind of quiet tonight for Lake is Evan Brady.
Yep. Lombardi, Patterson, Lippy on that defensive line. Here comes the pressure off the left side of the offensive line from Beluch. Here goes Davis. He makes a play. Look, he's at the 40. Climbing up towards the line to gain. He's going to be about 3 yards shy. Line to gain for a 1st is set.
Lake player hurt.
Call it the 43-yard line. They're going to make the 42.
Number 23 for Lake is down. And it's
Injury update, that's Ethan Hunt. Injury updates brought to you by our friends at Apex Surgical. So we will see. I don't know. I think Mark Milano's in the thick of it over there. He's over there. He's getting the play call inside of the huddle.
I've got a scoreboard update for you if you want it.
I would love it.
Yeah, the LPL financial scoreboard update is the Massillon Tigers have taken the lead 21-14 over Valdosta. Valdosta jump out to a 14-0 lead over there at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium, and the Tigers are back on top.
Tigers are back in action. That's going to make our guy JP Simon happy. Make sure to patronize all his places in downtown Massillon. Simon Says Promotions, leaders at Spirit of Stark, Stark Market, Numbers of Stark, Cherry on Top Ventures, Brits Bows, and our friends over at Ground Zero MMA. Also make sure if you make it downtown Massillon, check out our friends over at 303 Wyrick Boulevard. Eagles FOE 190 and Hilscher Clark Electric Company presenting sponsors of this broadcast on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel. Wow. Well, tell you what, the all-time winningest high school football game.
And Alliance is going for it here.
Hasn't let down. So
they're
now,
trying to end the game here.
This is also a great game here. Aviators going for it.
Oh,
Zerbrug's
the
trying to
naked
keep it.
boot.
He's got him. He dives forward. The Oklahoma commit with 3 minutes left to go in the game. Diving forward, and he's hurt. He's down. Zerbrug on the ground, writhing in pain.
Yeah, that's not good.
Don't ever like seeing that, but I'll tell you what.
He got one right on the upper thigh, too. That's
he
not where
just
you
sold
want to
out
get
for his boys, man. I'll tell you what, there is no way, and you hate to ever see anybody get hurt. But I'm going to tell you right now, from a quarterback standpoint, there is no way that you endear yourself to your team more than, what do you say, grabbing them and saying, you know what, I'm doing helicopter John Elway style. You know, it wasn't all that, but he took a shot to get the first down on fourth.
I'll tell you what, that is
That's
a
ballsy.
ballsy play call.
I love it.
By Tim Goodman, going naked boot out of the wishbone, inverted bone there, and great blocking on the outside by Kayvon Davis. But Brendan Zerbrug, he's up now. They're not touching his leg, I don't think.
Like you said, it was almost that shot came through the thigh board.
Yeah.
You know, and you start talking about the groin section there. It's a shot that's going to sting you a little bit, and it looks like he's got his back up off of the ground. So he's talking, getting a little bit of water. Look, he's going to get up under his own power, which is good. Okay, good job, young man. Up off the ground on his own power. Brendan Zerbrug going to walk over. I'll tell you what, and he's pumping up the crowd. He's throwing his fist up in the air. I like it. Now, what do we got coming in? And we got coming up in backup. I believe that's going to be Bo Davis, your backup quarterback. Bo Davis, 5'9", 160-pound.
Good athlete,
sophomore.
plays free safety for him.
Boy, talk about a little pressure situation as we got 2:52 clock running here in the fourth quarter. Alliance leading 12-7. What's Bo got for you? Handoff. Rayvon Hawkins, he's moving, shaking, gets back up to the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a yard, out to his own 46-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 9. Check that.
Lake used some early
2nd and 9 coming up.
timeouts. Some early timeouts in this half that may come back to haunt them.
Alliance has 2 remaining. Lake has 1. You talked about it. It was like, well, he's like, you got to burn one here, just kind of get your guys refreshed a little bit. That was for Alliance.
That was for Alliance, but, you know, they took one down on the goal line, and they took one on 4th down earlier.
Just letting
you
that clock
hold
tick.
on to the ball here.
After
for
this thing is snapped, it's going to be under 2 minutes to go. Bo Davis. Nope. Zerbrug back in action. Here we go. Apex Surgical update. Number 4, the Oklahoma commit, is back in the deal, and he just picks up 5 yards. He's going to make it a 3rd and manageable. We'll call it 3rd and 4. Spotted up at the Lake Bluestreak 48.
Now, if you get a stop here, if you're Lake, you have to burn that timeout, because you cannot allow them to burn this clock inside of a minute and hope to get the ball back. You've got to burn the timeout here after this and then hope to get a stop.
Brendan Zerbrug picking up the first down. Did he just lock up Hilscher Clark, Electric Player of the game?
Oh, yeah. I think he did it after he went 80 and then threw a couple of tight windows passes. But
see what he does here now. 3rd and 4. Going to get. I'll tell you what, the Lake Bluestreak crowd is kind of dipping out here. That's a little unfortunate. This ball game is not over. Aviators up by 5.
Oh, that is not what you want to do.
They burn a timeout. with 1:15 remaining in the ball game.
Oh, unless it was going to be catastrophic. You do not want to use a timeout there because now you allowed Lake to save theirs. Oh.
Coaching 101 from a guy who's won a state championship in Ohio high school football. Take it for what it is, and you just with this much time remaining, 1:15, you'd love to see that thing trickle down, and like you said, put that pressure on Lake to have to burn it.
Yeah, maybe some sort of pop pass here across the middle. Get Brendan Zergrug moving towards the line of scrimmage, the old Tim Tebow style.
Oh, don't say that to me, man, because I have nightmares of the Florida game.
Yeah.
It was Chris Leak actually started, but they brought in Tebow like 2 times in the game, and one of them was for that little pop pass, and I'm like, come on, guys, you knew it was coming. Like, don't step up to the line of scrimmage. All right, let's see what Zerbrug can do.
They've got 2 people right there real close. Let's see if they try to do that with Zerbrug.
3rd and 3 from the Blue Streaks.
They just run them off
48.
tackle.
There you go. Zerbrug picks up another first down.
And that's the ball game.
Look at that. Picks it up.
I'll tell you what. I want you to think about this for a second, TJ. This win right here might be the biggest win in Alliance football in decades. Beating a Federal League opponent that they left in the Federal League. They go to the NBC, now it's the EBC. They playoff success. They haven't had much since maybe Charlie Babb. Since Charlie Babb, this is probably the biggest win in Alliance football.
That's big time right there, partner. Brendan Zerbrug's going to put a knee on it, and I think he's only going to have to do that one more time, and that's a wrap. Holy smokes. Tight ball game all the way up to the half. 7-0. Was it 7-0 at half or 7-6?
It was 7. It was 7-0.
Aviators didn't score until the second half, and boy, I'll tell you what, they just weathered the storm. And Zerbrug showing why, as you mentioned, might be the best player in Stark County with a huge win here, and there it is. Look at that. The Aviators are going nuts.
Like I said, that's a huge win for their program.
4 seconds remain, and 2-1 triple zeros. What a ball game we just got to see on opening weekend of Ohio high school football. TJ Downing, Drew Sarakman, Mark Milano. It was our pleasure to be able to bring it to you live on our Stark Media YouTube channel. And I think we can go ahead and say it with certainty. Brendan Zerbrug will be our Hilscher Clark Electric Company Electric Player of the Game. We'll see if we can't get Mark Milano to bring young Zerbrug over here.
He's schmoozing the crowd.
No doubt. Aiden Mosden out there at the 30. He's hyping them up. Here we go as they come through the line, and we get Mark Milano trotting over here. See if he can't grab number 4.
He's looking for him. I'll tell you, really a group effort by Alliance tonight. Offense, defense, special teams.
All right, here we go. Mark Milano with Brendan Zerbrug, our Hilscher Clark Electric Player of the Game. Mark Milano. Oh, I think he's feeling a little ginger. Here we go. He's coming back. We got him. The Oklahoma commit. Getting a little love.
Second. Here we are with the man of the hour, Brendan Zerbrug. The coaches told you when you were over on the sideline, when there's about a little over a minute to go, this is your game to win, and you did it.
So, yeah, they were right, man. Gosh, this was a great game. I knew we could do it. We had to fight hard the whole game. We had a rough first half. Man, I'm so happy.
Talk about that big run that you broke off for the touchdown.
Yeah, I knew we needed a big play, so I just kept fighting, kept moving my legs, and we got the big play we needed to kind of lead us into the end of the game.
You and I had talked at the Hoover scrimmage about you going out for track and how much you wanted to get faster, but you really grew to love the game. I'll tell you what, it didn't hurt you. Hey, you didn't have to go over any hurdles when you were doing this either.
Yeah, hey, I mean, running track to get you faster, I mean, that's just proof of it right there.
Well, hey, congratulations to you. You're our player of the game. Obviously, I want to get a quick photo of you over here before you get over, but congratulations to you on this win.
Great stuff. Mark Milano down there on the sidelines, as always, with our Hilscher Clark Electric Company Electric Player of the Game. Boy, that was very, very electric.
Yeah, obviously he was a player of the game, but if you go back and think about it, this was a total team effort. Making tackles on Nate Baker in the return game when he looked like he was about to, break things. 2 huge goal line stands. 2 goal line stands where Lake was down there and got 0 points inside the 5-yard line. When they go back and look at the film, Lake's going to say that's the difference in the game, and I think Alliance will too.
Unbelievable performance by both teams, but the Aviators are able to get it done, and so we'll step aside and take a break as we get ready to start the Miracle Motors 42 post-game right here inside of Lake Bluestreak Stadium. We'll take a break for Ohio High School opening weekend right here on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel.
Power outages can happen at any time without warning and can leave your home powerless for days. Hilscher Clark has partnered with Generac to bring you the #1 selling home standby generator brand, engineered and built in the USA since 1959. With a home standby generator, your home will never lose power again. Generac generators activate automatically in the event of any power loss and restore power to your home within seconds. Don't leave your home unprotected. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark's residential division are experts in their profession and go above and beyond to provide you with quality, efficient service at a fair price. Starting with the estimate, they keep you informed regarding status and completion of your projects. They also give you shorter arrival windows and send you email and text confirmations of your scheduled service appointment, as well as notifications when their electricians are on their way to your home. Hilscher Clark's Google reviews speak for themselves, with more than 270 reviews and 4.9 stars. And if you've just recently purchased an electric vehicle but don't want to rely on public chargers to keep your battery full, Hilscher Clark has all the juice you can handle for your home vehicle charging needs. Hilscher Clark is a certified Q Merit Solutions partner, making them market leaders in electrification and recommended by local dealerships. Visit them online at www.hilscher-clark.com. That's HILSCHER-CLARKE.com. Or stop down and see them at 519 4th Street Northwest in downtown Canton. Or contact Hilscher Clark today at 330-452-9806. That's 330-452-9806. Remember, it's your home, it's our family. Trust only the best. Hilscher Clark Electric Company.
For nearly 100 years, St. Joseph Senior Living has provided award-winning care to families in Northeast Ohio. Located at 2308 Reno Drive in Louisville, St. Joseph Senior Living and the Alsatian have a variety of services to assist your loved ones. To schedule a tour or gain more information, call us at 330-875-5562 or visit us online at stjosephseniorliving.org.
McNeil & Sons Tree Service serves the greater Northeast Ohio area by keeping your property clear all year round. Do you have trees that have stretched too close to your home? A rotted tree that has to go? Or perhaps even storm damage? No job is too big or small for McNeil & Sons. We specialize in large tree removal, storm damage, stump grinding, land clearing, and more. McNeil & Sons Tree Service is fully licensed and insured, so contact us today at 330-606-1126 for all your tree care needs. Or visit us online at mcneiltree.com to schedule your free quote. The professionals at McNeil & Sons can inform you of your tree health and give you a risk assessment to keep your family protected. So call today, 330-606-1126. McNeil & Sons Tree Service, a company you can depend on with family you can trust.
Welcome back in on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel. Final here inside of Lake Bluestreak Stadium, 12-7. The Aviators coming on the road for opening weekend of Ohio High School football and getting a dub. Big time win is myself, TJ Downing, Mark Milano, and Drew Sarakman. We're here to bring it to you, but you mentioned, Drew, right before this thing ended, maybe one of the greatest wins in the last decade or two for the Alliance Aviators in a long, long time.
Yeah, and like we said, it's a team effort. What a phenomenal job Coach Tim Goodman has done since coming over to Alliance. You know, he's had some great players. That has a lot to do with it. But, you know, everyone talked about this Alliance offense and the Lake defense. The Lake defense played well for most of the game, for exception of a few plays. But this Alliance defense to come out and hold Lake to 6 points after giving up 41 the year before is really impressive.
All right, we'll run through our LPL financial scoreboard update. We got a couple coming in. We know that Canton South, they put in some work, right? They were taking on St. Clairsville. I know that was going to be a tough opener for Poochie Schneider and company, but they're handling their business, right?
Yeah, Canton South has got a 5-point lead with about 5 minutes to go. Also, Valdosta inches closer to Massillon. Massillon is now up 21-17 with about a whole fourth quarter remaining. Over in Jackson Township, Mentor is up 20-14 with about 5 minutes to go in that game. Glen Oak is up 34-12 on Western Hills. They look like they're going to put it away. Big win for Coach Mark Geist to start the season. Tough season a year ago, but they beat Dover in a close game as well. That score was, I said here 14-6. So big win for Dover. And then one more score to update. The McKinley Bulldogs were in a fight early. They've pulled away in the second half. Keaton Rohde has just thrown a 14-yard touchdown pass, and Canton McKinley's now up 33-14 up in Warren.
Nice win for Matt Churko. Malvern taking on Western Reserve. They win 26-7. Nice turnout for the Hornets. I know they're expecting some big things. You talked about their quarterback, Jared Withrow. Comes in last year just a young kid, record breaker, and he's got some years left underneath him there for the Hornets. So I know Coach Matt Churko, one of my old running buddies, grew up alongside that dude. And it's good to see. He's doing some good things down there. And, boy, we had some great things here tonight. Final right here inside of Uniontown, inside of Lake Bluestreak Stadium, Rockin' Blue Country. Not the way Coach Dan DeGeorge and his crew want to start off. They're going to drop this one to the Aviators 12-7. Our Hilscher Clark Electric Company electric player of the game is Brendan Zerbrug. And before we sign this thing off, we're going to make sure we let everybody know all of our proud partners here at the Stark Media team. It starts with our friends at Eagles FOE 190, Hilscher Clark Electric Company, McNeil & Sons Tree Service, Lindsay's Pizza, Leatherneck Nation MC, and the Sam Center and Save22.vet. Also, these broadcasts on the Stark Media Team YouTube channel brought to you in part by H&H Truck Parts, C.H. Vallis & Associates, St. Joe's Senior Living, AWP, Apex Surgical, Cackley Insurance, and our good friends over at Simon Says Promotions with all their stuff going on in downtown Massillon, Spirit of Stark, Stark Market, Numbers of Stark, Cherry on Top Ventures, Brits Bows, Ground Zero MMA, and our good friends at Trident Restoration coming on board with us, and LPL Financial. All right, that's going to do it for myself, TJ Downing, Drew Sarakman, Mark Milano down on the field, always doing a great job, dapping up Tim Goodman down there, athletic director and head coach extraordinaire, getting a nice week 1 victory here on opening weekend of Ohio high school football. Remember, follow us more on social media. We'll have more updates for you as the evening rolls along, and all the way into tomorrow, stop out to Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium tomorrow. Great games, all starting at 12 o'clock. Come out, buy a ticket, stay there all day. You've got all the festivities at the Village. You've been over there, Drew. Talk about that view from the brew kettle, looking right into the stadium.
You can see the whole field. You can watch a game from there. So if I were going to those games, yeah, I'd buy a ticket so I could sit close. But in between, maybe watch one of the games from the brew kettle patio.
Shout out to our friends over at EverFi. And again, my guy Matt Hankins over at NEO High School, big high school football, putting on that production over there at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium tonight. And then also, with everything going on tomorrow, it's St. Ed's and Center Grove at 12 o'clock. 3 o'clock, you got Hoban taking on Frederick Douglass. And the late night game, the finale, Ted Ginn Sr. rolling into town after winning that state championship last year. They will take on Dinwiddie out of Virginia. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us here inside of Lake Bluestreak Stadium. One more time, 12-7 is your final. Aviators victorious. Again, beautiful weekend for Ohio high school football. Wasn't too bad last night. Well, it was kind of bad, but tonight a lot better. Nice, cool atmosphere as we usher in the 2023-24 high school year. Stark Media will be with you all the way along and all the way through all the different varsity sports, but make sure to catch us next weekend as we'll be back at Perry High School as they take on the St. Vincent St. Mary Fighting Irish. All right, for myself, TJ Downing, Drew Sarakman, Mark Milano, one more time we sign off and bid you adieu. Have a great weekend, everyone. Check out some high school football at the Village tomorrow.